making all
that
noise.
It's everywhere we go.
Joined by Josh for this watch along. David will be joining us soon. He just needs a break. He needs to get a bite to eat. Just needs to take a moment because the man's been speaking for probably 3 hours straight. I mean, he's practically mad, I would say, for even being able to do that. It says there's probably something wrong with him. He's able to even go that long, hearing his own voice. Probably me as well. But joined by Josh tonight. I mean, Josh, how you keeping? Looking forward to this watch along and maybe even score prediction just to get us all pumped up?
I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. I reckon I looked at the team and I can't help but feel like we haven't learned from our mistakes a little bit, in the sense that we haven't got any first team presence on that bench. And if anything, that Vitesse are going to pose more of a threat to us than what Nora did. If I reckon we'll still win, but I reckon it's going to be scrappy. I reckon probably about 2-1 with that team.
I like that. That's kind of, you're going for that conservative one, which that means that means you don't have high expectations, and then you have to meet those high expectations, a bit lower ones, and then you can just be wowed by, maybe the 3, 4, 5-0 that might potentially happen. But big up, Josh. I like that prediction. Being rational. Yeah. We need more people on that.
Well, you got to come in. The thing is, if you come in expecting nothing, anything plus is a bonus.
There you are. I kind of like that mentality. I'll take that maybe into account. But Paul McHenry here, big up for being a new member, Paul. And I would say, we always have our fan shows on Monday at around 9 UK time. If you're in the Eastern time zone like me in New York, it'd be around 4 o'clock, my time. But also as well, everybody, there's a bit of news even, just let you in on an inside secret. We are going to try to, get a few more, fan shows, maybe per week, especially you want to do it, maybe after the match, maybe after we crush the wet spam, we want people to come on and just give their instant thoughts and whatnot. And as well, Paul McHenry, though, you can see you Monday and we will see you Monday, but there will also be plenty of more fan shows that will be coming out. So honestly, no better time to grab that membership. No better time. Mary McGee is in the building, as well as David is now joining us, getting that water, getting that bite to eat, recovering from all that talking. Dave, how you keeping?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. Look, a good pre-match build-up. I hope people enjoyed it. Pre-match pump-up, a good pre-match pump-up. Jack, thanks for filling in for the first half, my man. I really appreciate that as well. Doesn't go unnoticed, the unwavering support you do give me. And yeah, we're back here for the watch-along. Look, it should be... Look, with the players out there, there's 8 full internationals out there. Should be no problem to them. Should be no problem. Should be beating this team. Look, you would say, have we learned from our mistakes in the past? We're bringing youngsters like we did against the first leg against Pacos. But at the end of the day, the team out there should be good enough to win with bringing on the youngsters. Maybe the Cray twins, which I've now dubbed them. Matthew and Michael Craig, they're both on the bench again. They're on the bench against Pacos de Ferreira. So I nicknamed them the Cray twins. Look, people like them.
Better version of the Longstaffs, you might say. Yeah. The better version of the Longstaffs.
Yeah, the Tottenham version of the Longstaffs. Then you have Harvey White, Niall John. These guys should be allowed to come off the bench in games like this. The likes of Lo Celso, Winks, Dele Alli, Bergwijn, Sanchez, even Tanganga, Roden, Davies. There's more than enough in this team to be able to go out and beat them and have it done by 60 minutes where you can bring on a Harvey White and a John. Let's welcome more people into the chat, though.
Big up Mary McGee, though. Big up Mary McGee.
Legend. Good to see you tuning in as well. Of course, we will let everybody know we are working on getting a digital clock, which we will put up behind us, so you will be able to see the time. We will invest in one of them. Don't worry about that. But until then, we will let you know what time the last person here is kicking off, and everyone can pause and sync up. We can all be one big Tottenham Hotspur happy family. Spurs 72 says, come on, you Spurs. Spurs 72, it's good to see you in, brother. We have, Vince Vega. He says, come on, you Spurs. 10-0 to the Yids. Always the optimist. Absolutely love it. DMT85 says, come on, you Spurs. Big up, DMT. Hope you're keeping well, man. Good to see you back in. Same as Ribsy85. Come on, you Spurs. It's good to see you back in, my man.
The 85 Army.
Hope you finish school, the regular. Beat yourself up. Come on, you Spurs, he says. Dan N. Whoa, love the intro. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, just a little something extra. I was trying to improve. I was looking to improve. Glad you enjoy it, my man. Catman Jess, come on, you Spurs, let's go. Come on, big up, Catman. It's good to see you in the building. And Dan N, I know you were liking the early morning stream for you, so I hope you're enjoying the midday stream, my man. This is Josh, the Tottenham guy, of course, the guy that's on the panel with us. He's absolutely pumped. He knows the intro. We have Andrew Bailey. He says, game time. Woo! Come on, Andrew. Let's get the points, my man.
Players are in the tunnel. Let's go.
Jack is giving his best Lucas impression here in the chat. Ronan O'Donnell says, hi, David and Jack. Big yourself up, Ronan. Hope your key things are well with you. Big up to Josh from Catman Jess. And he says, David earned his lunch break for sure. Hashtag legend, hashtag Scott. Really appreciate that, Catman. Really appreciate that, my man. Dave Tyson's in the building as well. Good to see you, Dave. We also have the Hotspur Spur. Come on, you Spurs, big yourself up. Mr.
The hottest
Dagan's
of Spurs. The hottest of Spurs.
Also, Brian Daigle.
Brian Daigle as well.
Legend.
We can't pull this up for some reason on StreamYard. Just doesn't allow us, but he is celebrating 8 months as a member of the Harris Army, as a member of the Flat Cap Army, as a member of the Irish Hotspur. It's right here. I have it on the phone right here. He's celebrating 8 months as a member, and he's saying, good evening, everyone. Tonight's the night. Scarlet scores. Enjoy the game, everyone. Hashtag Harris Army. Big yourself up, Brian. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Big yourself up, brother.
I've had some very interesting conversations with Brian Daigle. Very interesting. Very good. Very good panelist as well on other shows.
Oh, absolutely. He's a cult hero, actually. I would say a cult hero of a lot of people, especially, when it comes. Also very, very brave, practically, huge supporter of all the Enoch out Levy movement, especially. So you have to thank him for a lot of the conversations that we even have about Enoch and Levy. So I would say absolute legend and like a cult hero, I would say.
Yeah, big up Mr. Daigle, and I agree with you. It is the night Scarlet arrives, my man. 100%, my man. Couldn't agree more. D-Trex Kane says, big up, guys. I'm calling 9-0 Spurs victory. Dane Mbappe, double hat-trick, and Brian Gill hat-trick.
Come on, D-Trex. Come on.
Absolutely love it.
You don't hear that much from D-Trex. He's more of a realist as well. He's definitely more of a realist. So he's definitely pumped up. You can tell he's pumped up. Big yourself up, D-Trex.
We have One Nod Monkey. Up the Irish Spurs. Big yourself up. Hope things are well, my man. And we also have Sean Brown says, enjoy the game, lads, and have a good stream. Big up, Sean. We definitely will enjoy the game, my man. Everybody, make sure you do smash that like button. Make sure you absolutely obliterate that subscribe button. The big push to 4.5K is on, guys. And look, feel free to get your super chat seen, guys. It is a great way to help support the channel. But most importantly, sit back, relax, crack open the beers, and enjoy the game with us. We'll welcome a couple more people in, and then we'll start syncing up. Kuva99 says, hey, Winks fans, the lineup is looking delicious. Absolutely love it. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up. Dark Sun G says, let's go, please. 5-0 win. Come on, Dark Sun G. Let's get it, my man. Catman Jess, I'm good, thanks. He's saying that to Brian. Big up, Mr. Daigle. And he says, Jack, Nicky, thank you so much for the kind words. And from the Irish Hotspur and Josh, big up yourself, Brian. Big yourself up, my man. Big yourself up, Brian. So look, I may click into my stream, see exactly where we are.
Still a few minutes from kickoff.
I've got photos at the minute. I've got the base just taking the team photo at the minute.
Yeah. I'm looking at fantastic, Verbo, Airbnb ads. It's just it's advertisement time, Dave. It's advertisement time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we actually look kind of composed. Like the energy looks right. Like when they were standing doing the team lines and stuff, like they looked really composed, and it's good to see.
Of course they are. You have 11 grown men dressed as bumblebees running around out there. Of course they're going to be composed. It's like a stag night out for Vitesse Arnhem.
Like watching Cambridge United.
Like watching Cambridge United. Yeah, exactly. As well, though, even a bit of inside information, from someone that tuned in for our pre-pump up to the pump up. They were saying that their Vitesse is kind of a hated club in the Eredivisie, or is a hated club in the Dutch league, which I found kind of interesting, So maybe there might even be a lot of Dutch fans that, are deputized Spurs fans tonight, kind of rooting against Vitesse. So who knows? Might have actually a decent crowd, of away traveling fans, even if they're from the Netherlands as well, Dave. So yeah. I would say that could be a bit interesting.
Tottenham's lineup looks pretty good. 4-2-3-1. Ali in the middle, Scarlett up front. Looks okay. I can dig this.
We got our predicted lineup spot on, Jacko. So we did.
I felt good, Dave. And like I said, it just backed up all the reasoning for what we said earlier about if this lineup can't produce a result here, it just says so much about some of these players that are being selected. Then it really does.
I don't like Davies being the captain. I think there's better
that's sabotage. Yeah, that is
there's
sabotage.
Better city players. To be fair, I reckon for a confidence boost, they should have stuck it on Tanganga. I reckon he would have been perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually said that to Jack earlier on. I prefer them to give it to someone like Tanganga. Tottenham boy, Deli Marley here. I'll just let everybody know. Jack, where are you?
I'm looking at Delhi as well. I'll tell you the moment I kick off. I'll kick
off. I'll pause at 10 seconds as well.
Okay. I'll pause at 10 seconds. So whoever gets 10 seconds, pause.
I'm looking at Nuno.
Kick off. Here we go.
Very lucky, man. I'm about to hit kickoff. Just kicked off for me. So I'll tell you when I hit 10 seconds, Josh, if that's all right.
Yeah, I've paused.
Yeah, I've paused.
I'm now at 10.
I'm a little bit in front, but I'll reserve.
No, you'll be our speaker. You'll be our, in fact, you'll be the hype man, maybe, Josh.
I'm at 25 seconds for some reason.
Yeah, I'm at
35,
29.
you said, Dave?
I'm at 30 now.
Yeah.
I'm at 30 now. I'm at 31, 32.
Okay, yes, we're all more or less.
Yeah, I'm about 5 seconds in front.
That's
so
no problem.
Vitesse looked quite aggressive from the get-go. If that's... Oh, what's this?
Oh, my God. What is that? Who done that?
That was Joe. That was Joe Rodon.
Oh, guys, come on. Someone get your foot on the ball. Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. Vitesse looked aggressive really, really early. I don't know if this is their tactic to get us on the back
the Dutch are known for their pressing. I mean, it is like a bit similar to the Bundesliga, right? Very high pressure.
If their manager done their homework, why wouldn't you come out and be aggressive with Tottenham from the start? Because you look at it mostly. How many times do we start slow? How many times do we start slow? You know what I mean?
I know.
You have Harry Winks and all in there. Of course, they're going to press us from the very off.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like in the case of Vitesse, maybe as we might know, in fact, they are. I don't know, Josh. I don't know too much about the Eredivisie, but so what I've been told, they do kind of to a degree play quite similar. To sometimes certain German teams.
The Eredivisie is normally dominated by 2 or 3 teams. You've got the likes of Ajax, Feyenoord. They're the 2 main ones.
But they all kind of, I've heard one time they all kind of to a degree play the same, even though it's like, they're not going to reach to the levels of Ajax, Feyenoord, and PSV. They kind of play very similar.
It's the style of football they play. It's the style of football they play.
Like Italian football.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing about English football. English football is it's so back and forth. There's a mixture of both attacking and
very
defensive
diverse,
football.
yeah, very diverse.
Whereas the way that the Eredivisie plays is very attacking. There's not a lot of defensive football. So I'm hoping we can capitalise on that and use what we know in defensive football and actually score a couple of goals here.
I completely agree.
So Davison Sanchez over the top. Oh, that's my phone going off. Davison, was that Tanganga throwing a ball down the wing? Almost cuts in. Oh, come on!
Davinson just got
get that out.
Oh my god!
Good save. Making himself look big. That's good.
Davinson, what are you doing, mate? Jeez. All right, Vitesse are all over us. It is maybe what we, especially though. Sometimes I'd like to think though, Josh, first 10, 15 minutes of the game never tells you about how the game can go. I personally think that.
I liked how Galini made himself look big then as well. That was very, very good. Very good.
Also crucial save, to be honest. That was a decent chance for them. Very good chance. Also, he went for going through his legs as well. So he didn't let that happen. So credit to him.
Tanganga.
And Gio here.
That's it. Find the space. Come on.
Ben Davies getting a nosebleed, getting across the halfway line. Come on, Deli.
Come on, mate.
Deli here. Deli
doing well to keep the ball. That's all right. That's all right. I'll take that.
The bumblebees are around us. At the moment.
Dan N's comment, Jaffet wearing the gloves, bowler. Mate, he looks the part, doesn't he? He looks the part.
Jaffet's beautiful. He's beautiful. Honestly, beautiful beard as well. He's just, he's just true proper
That's a foul.
Proper man.
Yeah. That was just careless. You got to do better than that. You've got to do better than that, Harry. Come on.
No, it doesn't look happy. He doesn't look happy. Look, Vitesse have done their homework. They know to start fast against some of these players because of their mentality.
Yeah, we do start slow, Dave, and that even, we continue to start slow, and then we know how to respond, I guess, is the difference, this season. But we have started slow.
You can see what this means. You can see what this means to Vitesse as well. They're sold out by the looks of it.
Yeah, they are. It is a sold out. But why is Rodon just knocking that out and putting that out of play? Jesus Christ, take a touch, get it back to your keeper, and get him to go along with it. You're just putting yourself under more pressure. That's shocking.
I don't know why he's. What I like about Joe Rodon is he's intense and he yells and he communicates. But then when he's kind of saying, someone needs to help him out there. I mean, he had all the time in the world to deal with that. So I don't know why that's anyone else's fault.
Winning the free there as well.
You get a foot on the ball and get a bit of calmness going for a few minutes here.
We just need to hold the ball, I think, a little bit better.
Just hold the ball and get into the game. Play your way into the game. You know?
That was soft. Why did he go down? I mean, to be fair, he won the 3, but come on.
I would say to anybody that is colorblind, I mean, this would prove that you're colorblind with all these different colors on the pitch.
Oh, unlucky. That's better football going forward. At least we're trying something. At least we're looking a bit lively.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit in front. I'm at 5:24.
Are you at 26, 27, 28, 29?
I'm on 30, yeah, 5:30.
Yeah, Josh and I are perfectly in sync then. So, David, maybe if you can go just pause for 3
seconds. Come on.
Brian Hill's got to do better. Oh, Dane Scarlett, love that shove, Dane. I absolutely love that shove, my son.
Getting stuck in. Come on, the boy.
There you go. He's absolutely massive. I think
he looks gassed already. What is going? He looks gassed.
So he should.
Mate, if he was coming up against Sissoko, the brick wall, he'd be fucked, wouldn't he? Like, imagine running into Sissoko full pelt. Crack your bounce off him.
Christ, this is too easy. What are you doing, Sanchez? How are you getting spun like that? You could see that one coming from him. Even Ray Charles could see that coming.
You're better ahead of us, Dave.
Does anyone know if Dane Scarlett's ever won a header? He's about 5'4". Come on. Hurry up and take it, come on.
Our passing just doesn't look right, you know that. It's very slow, it's very lethargic, it's sloppy. A bit like the way United started their game yesterday, I'll be honest with you. This is what it's like.
Golini with a nice ping there. Sir.
Over the top. Is that not a... Okay.
Oh, come on. Go. Drive, Brian.
Come on.
Drive, Brian. Drive.
Oh, come on. You need to do better than that.
Good pressure, though. Brian Hill loves to win it back. And he's shoved. Get stuck in, Hill.
Come on,
Get
Brian.
stuck in, my son. Get stuck in. David, you always talk about that Brian Hill. Even when he loses, he runs right back after. He doesn't let the guy just, he doesn't.
Well, I love his work rate is so high. His work rate is phenomenal.
Hopefully Vitesse with the strong start. Hopefully they end up gassing themselves out.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to get tired early.
Referee. Yellow card all day long. Oh, someone's crying because they got a loose tooth. Oh, boo-hoo. Tanganga, absolute animal. Look at that for play. How is he giving a free kick the other way? Oh,
Tanganga's like, what? This is why I love Jaffet, man. Like he's so good. There's a reason he's in the first team, man. Like there's a reason for that. It's because he's quality.
Ledley King 2.0.
Yeah, 100%. Do you reckon he'll be a one club man?
Yeah.
I think he will as well, to be fair.
As long as Tottenham want to keep him, I think he will. I think he loves Tottenham.
Yeah. Spurs fan, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves Tottenham. Oh, for fuck's sake. What is that? Stephen Bergwijn, Jesus Christ.
There's just no vision. There's no vision. What we do?
You're going to wear low socks and shin pads. Just at least make sure you can pass the ball. Like Thomas Muller done it, he can pass. Jack Grealish does it, he can pass. What's Stevie Bergwijn doing when he passes like that? It's a simple pass. That's the thing.
Yeah, go on. That's it. That's what I like to see. Press for the ball. That's it. Put him on the back foot. Well done.
He had no options, that player. He had no options. That's actually brilliant.
Put him on the back foot. That's exactly what we need to do. Is put them on the back foot.
Let's see what Harris Army we have in here. We have Gary Paul Speed. He says, come on, you Spurs. Big up, Gary. I hope things are well, my man. Hope things are well with you, my man. It's good to see you back in. It's a long time no see, my man. Nick is in. He says, Lazy 8, big up, lads, on the last stretch of the trip. Hoping to catch the second half at home. Come on, Nick. I hope you get everybody. Hashtag Nick race to get home in the chat. That's what we need to do. That man, Jess, says, I'm loving the youth on the bench. Hopefully we can get a lead early to bring some youngsters on sometime in this game. The hottest Spurs says,
that's the biggest hospital pass. Fucking wings. Jesus.
Won't give any spoilers. Bauer Power says, is it on DAZN? It's on BT, my man. BT Sport. Exactly, DMT. You tell him where to go, my man. Ribsy, Sanchez looking wobbly. Wembley says this could get real ugly, unsurprisingly.
Oh, long. We are just lucky they did not have numbers in the box then. What the fuck are we doing?
Mac is in the house. Says, come on, you Spurs. Let's hope Bum Davies doesn't cost us the game. 100%. Derek Hutchinson is in. And Dark Sun, he says, Winks and Davies are crap. Dark Sun G says, we have no captain armband today, right? Yeah, Mr. Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous. There you go, Dark Sun G. There you go.
Come on, defend this corner kick. How are we looking this rattled? You're talking about players that have represented some of the heavy nations in world football, and they're absolutely rattled. Are you serious? Are you actually kidding me?
This is what happens when you. It's clear. It's clear we don't want it. It's clear we don't want it. Vitesse just want this more than we do.
I didn't know that about that jersey that they're wearing. That it's actually designed by the local community, apparently.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Go on, Brian. That's what. Look at Brian.
That's MMA sort of stuff. That's Saturday night. Today's Thursday. Book them. There we go.
Yeah, go on. Straight yellow. Boom.
Get the yellows out early. That's what I'm talking about. We love a good name in the book over here.
Chase
at
them
the
after.
Validates my point. I turned around and said that the counter attack is going to prove vital today, and they've done that. That's a tactical fail. That's giving them the chance to get back because they know that we're dangerous on the front foot.
That's where we have to just get quick attacks. What a challenge! That's a good challenge. Who's that? Brian Hill. Brian Hill, Messi. What a challenge!
Oh, good stuck.
Oh, great tackle.
That is a future star. Brian Gill is a future star. He's going to be a bowler. Trust me.
Are you a believer, Josh? Would I have to say you're a believer?
Oh, I love Brian Gill. I followed him when he was a youngster, but before he even come to us.
We have the Brian Hill Appreciation Fan Club over here, so welcome, my man.
It's a good club to be a part of, always.
When I saw his face,
said I believer.
Running all over the place. I said
I'm at 12:29, 12:30.
Yeah, I'm in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm on 12:40 now. So I'm about 8 seconds ahead.
Just a few seconds ahead. But me and Josh are perfectly synced up, which is beautiful. That just gives me good vibes.
What a challenge by Gil Messi. Honestly, just play him centre back. He can play anywhere.
He's a left winger, though, isn't he? He wants to stay in left wing, which I don't see. Like, is it? It was Darius. He brought up a valid point yesterday that Gil's got the signs of a future number 10. Like he could play that role.
Oh, I've been saying that for months, lad. I was one of the first ones to ever say that. No disrespect to Darius, but I was. As soon as we signed him, I said,
"What is that? Are you seeing this? Just fucking smothering him. Why don't you get the pillow out while you're at it? Fuck's sake!"
Joe Rodon clearing it out.
Guys, everyone in the chat, let us know what your thoughts are so far of the opening. 15 minutes, guys. Do let us know your thoughts on it. The police sirens are outside. They must be coming to arrest Harry Winks.
We're impersonating a footballer.
Yeah, crimes against football.
He actually, no. Anytime a shot's outside the box, I get nervous with Golini.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Renz.
But I was going to say, like, Harry Winks, even before, though, he gave that hospital pass.
Oh, my God!
My stream's jumped up. I'm 14 now.
What is he doing? Just as Jack praised him.
Joe Rodon is looking. This is, I think, why people don't actually rate Joe Rodon sometimes. He's looked terrible, actually. He's genuinely looked terrible.
Where are you at, Jack? I'm at 14.
I'm at 14, 18, 14, 19, 14, 20.
My stream's refreshed and I'm now in front.
That's all right. Dave, what are you at?
14:35.
Oh, see, I'm in front of you as well. I'm on 42.
How about we all pause at 15?
See, my one doesn't pause. As soon as I unpause,
yeah, mine stops.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys will be ahead of me for all of it. This is atrocious.
That's it. Come on. That's not it.
Oh my God, we're just giving it back to them. We may as well wrap it up and say Happy Christmas. Jesus Christ, get the foot on the ball, man.
Harry Winks, I was referencing earlier, though, Dave, he gave that hospital pass into Dane Scarlett, and then he was telling Dane Scarlett to, block him off more, or, shield it more. And it's just like, Jesus, I mean, you can't be telling somebody to do that after you give a hospital.
Another long ball. Get the ball on the ground. Like, most of our team is like 5 foot dwarfs. Why are we playing long ball?
Sanchez cannot.
Right off his mallet. That's good defending.
Come on. That's it. Come on.
It's 4-on-3.
That's it. Oh, you fucking
Deli.
donkey.
Oh, why didn't you play in Scarlet? It's the wrong ball. Play in Scarlet.
Play through the channels as well. Play through the lines. Why are you playing out wide? Harry Winks' first
Look, it's
match
better.
is
It's better. At least we're starting to get on the ball and we're trying to play through the lines. At least,
Oh, okay. I could see the vision there. That was good, but you're throwing it a little bit too fast. He's a 17-year-old kid. He can barely. He's just about learned to walk, let alone run. Come on.
Oh. Anyone that wants to sync up, guys, we're at 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Vitesse are on the attack here. Tottenham have got back in numbers to squash it out. Happy days. I tell you, Vitesse, they're knocking it around nicely,
Yeah, it's the Dutch football, Dave. That's what I think they all try to play, to a degree, very aesthetically pleasing football, over there.
2 secs, boys. Wife's calling.
No bothers, lad. We all know what them duties mean. They're the ones that you can't turn down.
I like us though pressing them as well though.
Yeah, we're starting to maybe get a bit of more. Oh, Jesus Christ, Davies and Darty to play for the national team that can't even speak the sign language to decide who's going to take the ball down. Fucking hell. What is wrong with them? Look at Harry Winks. He looks shell-shocked. Look. You'd swear he's in the middle of World War II, Jack.
He's in the trenches. He thinks he's in the trenches.
D-Day. Oh. Guy wouldn't even organise a piss up in a fucking brewery house, let alone organise a Tottenham team.
There you go, Jaffet. Well done, Jaffet. Why are we playing that pass into Dane? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, he's not open there, Gio. Jesus Christ. There were so many other balls available there.
Gio thinks he's playing it to Aguero. That'll do.
I mean, even Aguero wouldn't be able to hold it up.
I love that guy.
Jaffet is just brilliant. Jaffet is just brilliant.
I love him.
He just shows them the weight room, David. He even shows the opposing team their own weight room. He just reminds them, by the way, take a left over down the hallway, take a second left. It's at the right, second door on the right. It's just showing them there. That number 7, though, for them looks like their most dangerous player, I will say.
Jesus Christ. Come on, Tottenham. For the city, the colours and all. Do you see all that crap in the background behind Galini?
Yeah, that's disgusting. David, like I said, though, I mean, all these colors that, both these teams are wearing at the moment, it's just a bit hard for my eyes, I will say. Wish we went with the all-white kit.
Yeah, it's Barney the dinosaur versus Benji the bumblebee.
I would say Gio's not doing too much for me this match either, though.
No, he's not.
Maybe it's just anybody who plays alongside Harry Winks, though.
All right, Jack, I'll be back in 2 secs. I put it in the private chat saying I had to go off for 5 minutes.
All right, that's all me then. Stevie B going for a bit of skills here. Up against Ben Davies, who gets tackled. Looked a bit from behind there, I would say. Looked from a bit behind. Harry Winks taking in the throw-in. I'm a bit behind both of them all. Or I'm at
Where
19.
Are you now?
I'm at 19:30.
I'm in front of you by about 8 seconds.
That's no problem. Brian Hill cutting inside, receiving it kind of in the middle here. Jaffet finding Gio. Gio playing it to Harry Winks in the middle.
Why is
Harry
Deli
Winks
staring down? Deli had his stares at his feet when he's got the ball. Look up, find the fucking player.
I always
Find
say
your
that about
target.
him. I genuinely always say that about him. It's like he actually doesn't know what to do with it before he receives it. It's actually shocking.
It's like he's playing hot potato. He gets the ball. He's like, oh, I've got to get rid of it quick.
Brian Hill here. Gives it back to Gio. Harry Winks doesn't even know how to touch football. Genuinely. His first touch has been atrocious all match. You think, if he were to sit so deep, you would have a good first touch. But no, anytime there's a bit of pressure on him, there's no good first touch. There's no such thing as a good Harry Winks touch.
I could say a lot about his touch, but then if I said that, I'd probably get muted. I'd probably get banned from YouTube.
Gio here looking for somebody. Finding nobody. Dele Alli's not able to find any space.
Why are we playing it back? Go forward. Come on.
There needs to be a whole lot more effort in the movement. There needs to be a whole lot more.
Bergwijn should be shining in this match. This is the league that he's used to. This is where we got him from. He should know what's happening.
Come on, Hill. Jesus, Dele's, all of his touches are atrocious.
What? Come on! Good to get in! Come on, good challenge! It's a shame it's gone back to them, though, isn't it? Fuck's sake.
Yes, Davinson, you absolute monster. Dele, you knew he was cutting inside there. Come on, Dele, jeez. Dele, I swear, though, the moment you... I actually don't even think he's trying in this match. I actually can tell.
He's lost it, mate. His heart's not in it. He'd rather go to Abu Dhabi and take pictures and get new haircuts.
He actually is moving less than anyone else on the pitch.
Why have we still got him?
We even were saying earlier, Josh, like this is supposed to be that lesson to him. Like, if this is supposed to be the lesson to to a player. Like, this is how you have to. That's why you need to step up, because you're obviously a second-tier player.
Yeah.
It's like being on the B team of any sorts, It's just, you would think it would be that motivation for him again, but apparently it never is.
I just don't get what we're trying to achieve out of this. I'll be honest. I really don't. We just don't want it. We genuinely just do not want it. They're sold out. They've got the biggest crowd they've had in about 6 years. And for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ, that was close.
Almost conceding to a set piece yet again.
Galini's got to dominate his area, though, a bit more. I don't know why he's sitting on the line.
This is why we need first-team players in this kind of squad.
But then again, though, that just says, right? Because we shouldn't need first-team players for this sort of squad. It just says how much deadwood there is, right, Josh? Because then, in my opinion, when you say that, the deadwood list gets even longer. It means the deadwood list gets even longer. What I'm getting
at is we haven't learned a lesson the first time round. We're going to be playing against teams who want this a lot more than what we do.
Yeah, but as much as that, helps teams a lot. Look at these players' first touches. Look at these players, they're so rattled, and also as well, they're just playing absolute shit. So it just says a lot. It just genuinely says a lot about these players. I know we need to play first team players in order to win these, but at the same time, it's saying a lot about Dele Alli, saying a lot about Harry Winks, saying a lot about Ben Davies. It's even saying a lot about Joe Roden and Davinson Sanchez as well, who are looking very, very shaky.
If people want to sync up, I've just hit the 24th minute.
I did as well. Dan Scarlett going for an interesting sort of pass. If we got our goal right now, it'd actually be against the run of play, which is horrible.
We've just got no, like, what's the word?
No cojones, no.
We haven't got the drive, man. Like we look so like rough around the edges. It's actually ridiculous. There's no stability at all. We're out of place all the time.
No bottle.
We've got no bottle. Absolutely no bottle. Look, they're all Poznanin, and look what we're doing.
This is what I'm trying to say, Mac. This is exactly what I'm trying to say. As much as we know we probably need first-team players in order to win this, we're paying half of these players over 100K a week. So they clearly need to go then if they're not even able to beat Vitesse. That's just how I genuinely feel about it.
DMT85, happy birthday, Josh. By the way, love the decorations. Have a fair day. My birthday was yesterday, but thank you very, very much.
Yeah, I think he was there in the chat yesterday. It's a birthday weekend. It's a long birthday weekend.
Birthday week. I'm getting
birthday week. Right, it was on a Wednesday, so it's the birthday week. Yeah, but honestly,
down
take it into the
down
weekend.
The pub on Sunday. Down the pub on Sunday. Na 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 na.
That's actually maybe a decent position here for a free kick.
It looks soft, doesn't it? It just looks a soft challenge.
I genuinely do feel bad for Dan Scarlett every match when it comes to this, because it's just showing that, he seems to be making all the right runs. It's just no one is just capable of even playing him through the channels, which is exactly what he's there for, is to be a guy that you play through the channels. We also don't have any free kick takers in this situation when I think about it.
No, you don't. Your best chance is probably, but I mean, Bergwijn can smack a free kick every now and again, can't he? He's probably your best shot.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to try to go for a set piece delivery into the box here.
Come on, yeah, corner, come on! Pick up the pace, boys. Has it been given as a goal kick? Please don't tell me it's been given as a goal kick. No, it hasn't. Good.
Jaffet does look filthy with those gloves. He looks absolutely beautiful. Just he has to hide, all of the probably all the times he's pinching the players and just giving them those little nudges.
He's got the Aaron Lennon gloves on, isn't he?
Come on, Jaffet. Davinson Sanchez should probably win a header here. He's actually good.
What are we doing? What is that? What is that? Do better than that, Spurs. Come on.
Why didn't he even go for a set piece there?
Fuck me.
Dele Alli seeing here. Dele Alli refusing to play Brian Hill. Brian Hill it's the obvious pass, Dele, if you can't make that pass.
Dara, putting Dane in play in these games is silly. He's really not. He's not ready. The question you have to ask yourself, Dara, then is, when do you play him? When do you play him? Because it's games like this where it is a second grade team. Where do you find the chance to play him?
I agree. And also I think that all he needs to do is just make the runs that he always does,
Yeah.
Continue
for
to
right now, this is the deep end for him. This is the deep end. This is where he needs to prove himself. And getting this kind of experience is going to make he's getting
trampled here again. It's not MMA like David says. Seriously, can't trample over Brian Hill Messi as well. Like,
what minute are you on, guys?
28:07.
Yeah, exactly. 28:07.
Okay.
Set piece free kick into the box. Is it taken by Gill?
Come on, put it on Tanganga's head. Let's get a goal, Jaffa.
Put it on Sanchez's head. Sanchez needs to prove that he still has that aerial ability for set pieces.
I know. I just want Jaffa to score though so bad.
We do want Jaffa to score. We want Dane to score here. Dane can maybe pop up at something.
Everyone, make sure you are smashing that like button. Make sure you are smashing that subscribe button if you are new. And look, feel free to help support the channel out with a super chat too, guys. It is a great way to support myself and Jack on our YouTube journey. DMT85 says no supply. He needs true balls to get onto.
Thank you, DMT.
Says, I think it's unfair on Dane. It's like giving him a broken gun on a shooting range. He's got no supply. That's a visual.
Totally agree.
100%. Carl Simpson says, should have played Stevie B up front. Brandon Sebastian says, Dele is Sloth Marley. Who else we got? Derek Hutchinson says, get wings off the pitch. The regular says, that corner wasn't good. Darius, big up Darius. Good to see you, man. Says, putting Dane in playing these games is silly. He is not ready. The regular says, delivery is good. And Tango Bin Al-Sheed says, lol, Lo Celso. Darryl Denton, it's good to see you in, my man. Says, games are passing Lo Celso and Bergwijn by. They are not the standard. Yeah, it seems like that way. Big up Wembley and Kuva and Dan N and Ribsy and everyone else who is still here.
Good tackle. Good tackle.
THF
Jeff,
for Life says, same old crap. Yeah, it's looking like that, my man. It is looking like that. Big yourself up. Dark Sun G with the super chat. Big up, my man. I really appreciate it. He says we are playing at 8v11, right, Jack?
Seems like it.
It seems so. Dark Sun G. Let's see. We got Mr. Catastrophe. That's -1. We got Easy Pass. That's -2. Who's the third? Let me think. I'm probably missing one. Maybe Deli Marley. Sloth Marley is probably the third. Let me know who that third one is, because maybe I'm missing it. Dark Sun G. David, do you know who that third is that we're missing?
Davies, Winks, probably Deli Ali.
I think it's Deli Ali.
Probably Deli Ali.
Big Sloth Marley. I absolutely love that. He's running around like a sloth as well.
I'd say we're playing 7 versus 11 because we don't really seem to have a striker either. I think it is unfair to put Dane Skyler, but again, like it's 6 to 1 and half a dozen of the other. If you don't play him in games like this, when do you play him?
Yeah. Taliesin says, well played to Winks and Deli for not giving theirishyid Hotspur any more effort after 6 years of lies. Brain Sample is back in. Big up, Brain. I hope things are well. Says, guys, Dark Sun G is saying the third one is Deli. See, Dark Sun G, I knew. I knew.
Winner.
Not 943 says, David, I don't know why you thought it'd be a walkover with this team. Look, the only reason why I think is, because realistically it should be. That's why it should be a walkover. But I do get what you're saying. It's the same players that let us down time and time again. But when you look at it, it should be a walkover. These used to be walkovers. These games used to be walkovers back in the day when I was growing up watching football.
Also, David, like you just speak about some of the wages that some of these guys are on, and that's what I feel like about it. It's just there's no reason that Kerry Winks should be paid $90K a week, or Ben Davies being paid $90K a week if they're absolutely rattled like they're in the trenches. David, for this, like it really just says so much. It says so much about these players. It genuinely does. As well as Davinson Sanchez he's made good tackles at times. Joe Rodon, I will say, is looked the worst of the two. He really has. I would say maybe as much as a lot of the 4 R's seems to make sense. Joe Rodon has.
How is that happening in behind the Celso and Winks? How is that pass getting through the midfield that easy? There we go.
What is that touch?
Deli, fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Someone just give him a record label and get him away from football.
I'll be
that shouldn't have happened in behind. We get the ball back, we break, and Dele Alli has the touch of Gylfi Sigurdsson. Ridiculous.
Most dispossessed player.
I'm glad you said it.
The most dispossessed player in our team for a reason, Dele Alli, and he barely even plays.
Why do I put myself through this pain every Thursday night? Why do I do it to myself? It's just painful.
I'll be happy to see him go in January, to be fair. Is Newcastle's problem come January.
Problem is, he's even rubbed off on Galini. The two of them are probably standing there rapping together and everything else.
They're coming up with a new Fortnite mixer.
Dele Alli Vivo. Just wait for the day, mate.
Jesus.
Finally, Dele's got a producer.
What is this?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No, take him off. Harry Winks, I've had enough. I've actually had enough.
How much time do you need on the ball?
Honestly, he wants you to tune back in tomorrow to see what he done with it. That's how much time he wants.
Oh, my God. He's shocking.
This is Vitesse Arnhem. He can't even play against Vitesse.
He had 40 passes in front of him. He had all the time in the world.
I wouldn't mind. Tanganga gave him a lovely quick ball. Turn, get at him. No, he wants to turn his back to goal. Gets his pocket picked like we always see.
I actually feel sorry for the likes of Tanganga, Brian Gill, because they definitely want this. They want this, and because of the efforts of Dele Alli, Ben Davies, Harry Winks, it's rubbing off on the team. It's rubbing off. We've got no composure. We're not stable enough. We've got no shape. We are so messy.
We have as much composure as a pedo around the playground. It's ridiculous.
Bergwijn has also just been dead this match. Absolutely dead. He doesn't even look like he's up for it as well. I hate seeing all these players that need to prove something look so frustrated, with their shoulders sagging, Dave, their head down. I mean, these are not the players that should be doing this, because these players have something to prove actually as well. So that's the part I don't understand. Why are they shrugging at each other? Why are they saying, X person needs to play better when they're the ones that need to be proving things?
Isn't he such a bitch? He just gets bounced around left, right, and center. Harry
He's the ball in a pinball machine.
Left, right, and it's like playing pinball. It's absolutely the guy is atrocious.
I don't even know if Harry Winks can make it. Even I don't know if he'll make it in the first two divisions.
There's a reason he's still.
He's not even a championship player at this rate. He's not even a championship player at this rate.
There's a reason he's still with Spurs. It's because Levy's put like a £50 million price tag on his head.
The only thing that he has, the only thing he can, thank is that his parents conceived him in England, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing that's keeping him in a squad at the moment. Anyway, should be thanking his parents every day.
Mr. Daigle says no movement, no purpose, no creation, no energy, no passion, no desire, nothing. And he's only talking about Delhi.
I think those labels can fall on about 30% of the squad right now.
It's just so annoying. It's just really annoying. Honestly, it's like they want a marching band to play them down the runway when they're flying out for this game. It is. It's like that's what they need. It's honestly, it's gone beyond the joke. Dark Sun G says, I hope this. Alex is enjoying his two favourite players playing bad at the minute. Yeah, look, Alex is probably sitting there blaming everybody else. It's Tanganga's fault. It's Gill's fault. It's honestly,
Alex Davies is the most clueless Spurs fan to ever grace our nation, mate. I'm telling you.
I know, I like Alex and that, but he is delusional. But look, this isn't an annex. At the end of the day, to pull the wool over his eyes, we need to make a concerted effort now, just to kind of no more of this bull crap. Honestly, it's embarrassing when you're watching Winks being ping-ponged around by bumblebees. It really is embarrassing. We have a free kick. Let's see if we can salvage this half, and let's do something with it.
Gio hasn't been able to beat the first man, though, on all these free kicks, I will tell you that.
Back post, Tanganga's begging for it.
Go on. Oh, come on.
Oh, Sanchez up the highest and still couldn't get any contact onto it whatsoever, and then we ballooned it over. Who took the shot?
Gil.
That's shocking. I've seen him rattle shots from there. How's he just chipping that over the bar? Dark Sun G, I couldn't agree more, my man. I could not agree more. Really appreciate it.
At this rate, no, Dark Sun G, at this rate, I genuinely he must just be mistaking Harry Winks and Ben Davies for, just different. It's just me. He really is just watching a different game. Genuinely, Dark Sun G is just, and also Dark Sun G, I would never even allow Alex to be, in a debate with you, because that's the one person that I would, even just for Alex's sake, if he were to debate Dark Sun G on Mr. Catastrophe and Easy Pass, it just wouldn't go well. So Dark Sun G, big yourself up.
Crocodox is in the building. Crocodox, my man, it's good to see you. Where have you been? Crocodox? I hope everything's good with you, man. I hope everything is well. He says Gil Roden and Tanganga are the only standouts so far.
I don't even think you can.
I think Roden has looked pretty shocking. He's looked pretty shocking.
One at a time, lads. One at a time.
Yeah.
No, look. Yeah. Jack. What's your thoughts here for Crocodox?
Crocodox, I really agree with Tanganga. He's gotten stuck in all over the pitch. He hasn't put a foot wrong, really, in my eyes. I think Hill, is clearly the work rate. We continue to see it no matter how much, he doesn't have any sort of support or whatnot. That work rate is unbelievable from him. I would say, though, Joe Rodon has looked quite shocking. And what I don't also appreciate about Joe Rodon is that there have been moments when he has all day on the ball and all day to clear his lines in the right sort of way. And then he just seems to be so rattled and so scared. And then I just don't like the people that then motion at someone else, that they need to do something when in fact it was clearly, obviously, their fault and their lack of composure. So I would say Joe Rodon needs to step it up. Davinson Sanchez, for me, Crocodox has actually looked better than Joe Rodon. And that's saying something. That's saying something.
Come on.
Good effort. Good effort by Gil trying to play Scarlet through. Look, Crocodox, it's what we expect. The guys that actually come in that have a point to prove, the likes of a Gil, Tanganga, homegrown boy, loves the club. It's no surprise that they're playing well, that they have points to prove, whereas some of these guys, they just think they're going to be here for as long as, and that's why you're seeing them, moving around like slugs out there, my man. But big up Crocodox, really appreciate the support, brother. And like I said, it's good to see you in. I do hope things are well. We have M. Siriu in the house as well. It's good to see you back in. Who else have we got? Apocalypse now. It's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. M. Siriu as well. It's good to see you in. Who else have we got here? Philip Brady's in the house. Big up Philip Brady. This is as good as tonight will get. Nothing on the bench to change it. Yeah, I agree with that, my man. And Shane O'Neill, it's good to see you in the building as well. Can't watch it. in work, just listening away to you lads tell me this. Is it a case of just being crap?
Yes,
or
Harry
lack of
Winks.
effort? It's a bit of both, to be honest with you. It's actually a bit of both, Shane. I'll be honest. It's a bit of both. And who do they think they are to go for this competition? That's exactly what they are, my man. That's exactly what's going in. Aidan Doherty, Jack, the reason Bergwijn doesn't really look into it is because he has only been back for a week at most. Not really an excuse, to be honest with you. Look, at the end of the day, he's fit enough to play. I do get it sometimes, Aidan, that, it does come with, like,
fitness.
You do need games and a bit of repetition and stuff. I do get it after being off with an injury and stuff like that. But, man, it's Vitesse Arnhem. If he can't come back, there's no better game for him to come back and put on a show,
There is no better game. I see where you're coming from, Aidan, but there is no better game for him to, look his best. And I just think even the body language at times is looking pretty shocking from him. It really is. And I feel like, again, he has to be proving something in a match like this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Spurs72 says, I don't even know what to say about this shambles. And Nuno,
stupid yellow card he got as well, Stephen Bergwijn.
Off already. Do you know what? This is the thing. I don't put these games on Nuno whatsoever. These games I do not put on Nuno. These are games you should be putting these players out and they should be playing them off the park easy peasy. It's the same old players that failed Jose Mourinho, same old players that failed Pochettino. These players, I do not put this on Nuno whatsoever.
Why are you trying to turn like that?
I put it on Winks, I put it on Dele, I put it on Davies, I put it on these guys who the same things keeps happening. Colchester, Antwerp, who else have we got? Pacos de Ferreira. These results keep happening. At the end of the day, we have to use these players because we have to rest our best players. But I put all this on Nuno. Jack, what would you say to Spurs 72? But big up Spurs 72. It is good to see you, my man.
Spurs 72, I just think there's no reason that, tactics, as much as we think that tactics, play a part in every single match, you look at the squad that he has in front of him right there. It's just the usual suspects, as I like to say, Spurs 72. It's the usual suspects when it comes to it. And it is the Ben Davieses of the world, the Harry Winkses of the world, the Dele Allis of the world. I could even continue. I think even Gio Lo Celso is just shocking at times. And to a degree, even Stephen Bergwijn this match as well. Also Joe Rodon. I just don't even know what some of these players are honestly doing. We see how much time they have on the ball. We see their first touch. We see, maybe even the passes that they're going for, the hospital passes and whatnot. I don't think that's Nuno's fault. I don't think it's Nuno's fault that Dele Alli has to touch it 10 yards in front of him every single time he receives the ball. I just genuinely don't think any of that has to do with Nuno. And as well is I think some of these players that he has in front of him, according to a lot of people, should be good enough. And me as well. I'd like to think that these players should be good enough in order to beat a team like this. If they're not, just says a whole lot about these players.
What a touch.
And you know what? The thing is, it comes a point where there needs to be apologies issued to likes of Harvey White. Even last season, how many times have these guys been on the bench hoping to get on, get a game, make an impact? But because of the way the game is and the way these guys are playing, they can't. They don't get their opportunity. The two Craig brothers, Pacos de Ferreira away. You look at the team we put out. You look how shit they actually were. You know what I mean? That should have been done in the first leg. The two Craig brothers should have made their debut. Will they get the chance today? Probably not. Niall John, will he get a chance? He might. But they should be issuing apologies to some of these youngsters. At the end of the day, look, Nuno, he likes to give chances to the youngsters. We know this. So he has faith that the job should be done, and it should be. I don't think we can blame this on Nuno. I do think it's a lot of these players who should be stepping up. That's my opinion. But Spurs 72, look, I do see where you're coming from too, though. I do. I'll be honest. I do see what you're saying. Big up Joe. Joe's in the house. He says it's time to drop these players. David, my team from earlier today didn't have Winks, Dele, Davies, Doherty was all there by default. Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. It is time, my man. It is time. Tottenham Tantrum. He says, okay, guys, what's the score? What have I missed? It's still 0-0, but we've been absolutely crap, man. We've been absolutely crap. We're talking about 9 full internationals playing with some of the biggest nations or have played with some of the biggest nations in the world, and they can't even perform against these. It's absolutely shocking, Dermot. Absolutely shocking. It's not good enough. It's not on. It's not on.
Dermot, it's almost not. It's not even worth putting on unless you want to put yourself through any more pain. That's what I would say. If you want to put yourself through a bit of pain, might as well turn it on. But it really is shocking. It genuinely is shocking. Some of these players, I really don't get it. And Spurs 72 actually do see where you're coming from at times because Nuno has had some shocking displays. Tactically he has, but again, it is the usual suspects. It really is the usual suspects. And if you just watch, like, just from a seeing eye test, some of these players, just from a seeing eye test, they're honestly impersonating footballers. They're that horrible. That's what I would say, especially Ben Davies, especially Harry Winks and Dele Alli. I mean, Dele Alli, how many times have we seen him where his first touch, like even Josh said, it's like he has to stare down at his feet every single time when he receives, his first touch. He doesn't even know what to do with it when he even receives it, as well as Harry Winks continues to put in hospital passes left, right, and center. Anytime maybe the reason Harry Winks passes it sideways all the time, Dave, is because anytime he passes it forward, it's a hospital pass into a player that just, loses possession. And then Ben Davies is just shocking. He really is shocking as a player at times. Him and Joe Rodon, I would say, actually on that side together have looked horrible for me. They've looked horrible.
I agree. But big up, Dermot, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. Everyone out there, make sure you are smashing that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We do like previews, match builds up, reviews, watch-alongs, and any other hot topic, debate shows, fan shows, everything else. So make sure you do smash that subscribe button. And why not get a super chat in, to really help support the channel. Big Bobby, it's good to see you in THFC for life. It's good to have you back, my man. Kev Williams, same thing. And Blue Mountain, good to see you back too. But Kev Williams with the super chat. And guys, then I do want to ask you a bit of a question. He says, Dele does my head in. He's crap. Had enough of him. Look, 3.5 years and he's still playing hide go seek. No one's found him yet. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm fed up with the guy. Absolutely fed up. You think a new haircut will do it? Putting up pictures out in Dubai, ladding himself up with baby oil, get the right angle on the picture. I'm working hard. Look, his football ability is gone. He's finished at Tottenham. I don't want to say it. I like Dele Alli. I love, his rise to fame and everything he's done for us. But there comes a point as a Spurs fan, in order to be able to move forward, and get out of this crap, you have to start being honest with yourself. And he's just not good enough, Kev. He's just not good enough. I could not agree more with you, my man.
Perfectly said, Dave.
Ribsy 85 says, I want my 45 minutes back, please. Yeah, I think we all wish we could have it back, my man. I think we all wish we could have it back. That was absolutely shocking. That was a catastrophe. That was a disaster. Look, same old players not stepping up is what I would say, Ribsy. Look, I think we all want our 45 minutes back. I think we all want the whole day back. We've been going since 2 o'clock up for this game, and this is the crap they put in. Absolutely ridiculous, my man. But big up, Ribsy. I really appreciate it.
Ribsy, you need a refund. You genuinely do. You should be asking, whatever, TV provider, any stream provider, just say, listen, I wasn't expecting, I thought I was supposed to be watching football. Thought I was supposed to be watching Tottenham Hotspur, and clearly you just weren't. So you might as well just ask for a refund, get a full refund, maybe even get a bit of compensation as well, for the torture that you've gone through. That's what I would say. Honestly, It's just genuinely shocking every time.
Just quickly, before I get the lads' halftime thoughts, I'm just going to fly through some comments here from the chat. Hugh says, this is ugly football, no movement, awful passing. Blue Mountain says, look at the non-stop stream of talent from Chelsea Academy, and we produce Harry Wonky. I couldn't agree more. Dele has to go, DMT 85. The hottest Spur, terminate the contracts, don't even want their money, just get them out. Chris says, poor game stinks, and Dele doing my head in again. Leighton Evelyn, it's good to see you, brother. He says, piss poor. Daniel Anderson, Weatherall, good to see you. We don't even have a strong bench for this game. Jam, 100 quid, but Dele wins silverware before Levy's Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, probably so, but he's at the end of the day, it's just not working out at Tottenham. Big Bobby, good to see you in. Winks and Annie aren't much better. Kev Williams, lads have paid hard-earned money to travel over to watch this crap. Couldn't agree more. Feel sorry for them. Tango Bin Shield. Cold spuds and cold beer. Seems like that at the minute. We have David in the building as well. Good to see you in, David. Not good enough. Not much quality up top. TTV Borg. Tottenham is playing bloody shit right now, innit, lads? Couldn't agree more, my man. Absolutely woeful. Catman Jazz can only get better in the second half, hopefully. I hope Nuno lets the team have it. I hope so, and that's what I'm going to ask the boys now. Island Life says, yes, such a sleep fest. It really is, my man. Anthony O'Neill says, you're talking out your backside. There's no problem with Dele Alli. The problem is there's no movement up front. I need to get closer to each other. Well, if you go back and look at one of the touches I've seen Dele Alli have, where it was 10 yards in front of him, I don't think that's to do with movement. I think that's to do with Dele Alli himself, Anthony. I think you're talking out your backside, to be honest with you. Let's be honest. How long more do you want him to keep hiding?
Most dispossessed player, Anthony, in our entire squad. Think about how many minutes he's even played in the Premier League, and he's the most dispossessed player in our entire squad. I mean, if you've seen any of his first touches today, I mean, Josh has even pointed out at times, the guy's practically doing a whole full-length bus, touch in front of him, when he just needs to take it to feet. I mean, personally, it's just seeing eye test when you watch Dele. He is garbage, absolute shit. When you watch him, just seeing eye test, even without being biased at all, you sometimes genuinely think he is about to do something brilliant, and he just absolutely underwhelms every single time. That's what I would say.
Don't get me wrong, Anthony. I agree. Bergwijn could be doing more. Scarlett is making the runs. The ball just isn't coming. But look, Ali's there to be chief creator today. Ali's the one that's supposed to put them through. You can't blame. Look, Gil is one of the most active players out there. Runs around constantly. Scarlett is making runs in behind. What more movement does Dele Alli need in front of him? I don't get it. I do not get it. I see where you're coming from, but I'll be honest with you, I disagree. Just get a few more people in here. Motspur says, the Irish Hotspur, are you from South or North? South, my man, South. County Kildare, brother, County Kildare. Lappers82, it's good to see you in, my man. Where have you been? I hope things are well. No wonder none of these clowns play in the Prem. They are all miles off it. I couldn't agree more. We have Wayne Bonner in here as well. Joe, first, he says, is Kane and Son playing? No, not even on the bench. None of them travel. I agree with it. I'll be honest with you. I do agree with it. Wayne Bonner, not a bad first half. Second half, we need to hit them fast and hard and do a hell of a lot more up front. Fair point, Wayne. I couldn't agree more, my man. But look, guys, before we take these two super chats, and then I will get my question to you. Dark Zone G says, have you seen Catastrophe Easy Pass in Delhi? If you do, call the Irish Hotspur and a reward will be a win. Another reward is the last game for them. Jack, what would you say, Dax on D?
Just honestly, they might as well all be under the blanketed camp of, Mr. Anonymous. Honestly, I'm not sure what the plural is for multiple people or things that are anonymous, maybe anonymini. I'm not sure. But there you are. I mean, Dark Sun G, they honestly, not only do they hurt us by basically not being players, like you said, 8 versus 11, but as well, though, it's just at times when you do expect them to be actual normal footballers, receive the ball, play a ball forward, have a good first touch, be able to see the pass that's clearly in front of them, somebody that is making a run that's in front of them, and they ignore them. This is also my thing with Dele Alli. There was a time when Hill was making a run all the way across the pitch, to help him out on that left-hand side, and Dele Alli just completely ignores him and then gives up the ball after as well. So really, it's just actually detriment is not is an understatement. Sabotage is an understatement. I'm trying to come up with the right words, Dark Sun G, because these guys absolutely just sabotage our squad. Yeah. They genuinely do. And they sabotage any build-up play. They sabotage any chances of creating anything. I don't even know anymore, Dark Sun G. I actually am losing any sort of, smart words to describe these players because they're honestly that shit.
Yeah, big up Dark Sun G, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. You have no idea how much it helps. Philip Brady, my man, look, as we know, some people, I don't know whether it's a donation or whether you forgot to put in the comment. If that is the case, just put your comment in the live chat here and we will read it out. Philip, of course, big yourself up, Philip. Really appreciate the support.
Philip Army, the Philip Army legend.
Yeah, channel legend. Everyone loves a bit of Philip in their life. Kuva 99 Soviet State TV had more to offer than this. It seems like that. Kuva 99.
At least we knew that it was propaganda. Kuva 99. At least we knew it was propaganda. At least we knew it was state-run TV. Whereas this, we're actually paying for this. Whereas state-run TV, Kuva 99 was for free. This isn't for free what we're watching, which is why Ribsy85 needs a refund. Probably a lot of you need a refund for this one. And that's why I would say the only benefit, actually, I'd rather watch Soviet State TV, Kuva 99, because at least it'd be provided to me for free.
But big yourself up, Kuva, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother. Everyone, make sure you are smashing that like button. If you are new, smashing that subscribe button. And feel free to jump to the very top of the chat, with a super chat. Don't worry. I know people aren't in a position to do it. So I will bring up everybody's comments up on screen as best as we can. Of course, don't worry, I will get that done for you guys out there. But if you want to just skip the queue and get straight to it, get your super chat in, guys. And it's just a great way to support myself and Jack. But look, Josh, what do you do if you're Nuno now? Do you bollock these players or do you just take off some of these players and make a statement and just say no more?
Absolutely bollock them to hell and high water. Bring off Winks, take off Winks, take off Dele Alli. And just get some fresh legs in the team. Get some fresh legs. Put Gio in put Gio in the number 10. Get Steven Bergwijn to push into the box a little bit more. And I reckon we laugh him.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I want to be giggling at the end of this game with a victory. Jack, what would you do if you were Nuno?
I'd put in Harvey White.
Shit.
I put in Harvey White for Winks if I could, and then I would put in Niall John for. I think I would put in Niall John for Dele. Honestly, I seriously, there have been multiple times where Dele, he's supposed to be the number 10. He's supposed to be that creative midfielder in there that is supposed to be finding the passes and also even making runs off the striker. He's not making runs off the striker, and he also can't play any of the players that are running in behind for him because he simply either doesn't see them, maybe because he just genuinely doesn't know what to do with the ball when he receives it, or it's because he actually blatantly likes to ignore players that are making hard-working runs in behind for him. And so I would say take Dele off and take Winks off. Of course, you probably have to keep Ben Davies on because there's not even too many replacements for him. I would put on Niall John. I'm not even kidding. Dele Alli again is just shocking. Like, he has so much support around him, and his first touch is shocking. I don't really think that Niall John could do any worse. I really don't think he could do any worse. And then Harry Winks, he's just continuing to put hospital passes into players' feet when there's a much better pass on. He also bounces around the pitch, David, any single time someone makes contact with him. I mean, the guy's an absolute shrimp in the midfield. I would put in Harvey White then again. I don't see how he could do very much worse. So Harvey White, Niall John, get in my club right now. Get on the field, honestly. And I know they wouldn't even do any worse. I mean, how could they do any worse?
Do you know what I would do? Honestly, I would haul off Winks at halftime and I'd make a statement. And I'd bring on, I'll be honest with you, I'd bring on like a McCandy. I'd put McCandy out wide. I'd bring Dele Alli back in beside Lo Celso. None of this crap if I want to play in my best position. Gave you a chance. You didn't do it. You're going to play here, and you're going to play here well for 45 minutes beside Lo Celso. I'd bring Gill into a number 10 role, let him be chief creator, and put McCandy on out wide. He's been banging them in for the under-23s. I think he deserves a chance, to be honest with you. And I think Harry Winks should be made issue some of these guys an apology before he takes them off. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. Look, we have a chance today to kind of put 4 points between ourselves and Vitesse, kind of get the group more or less over and done with. You know you're going to beat more a second time around. That's another 3 points. You won't be caught. It's just not good enough. It is just not good enough anymore.
Dark Sun G, I think Chris was saying he wouldn't let them back on the plane. Dark Sun G was basically just give them a rowboat and a few paddles and just say, listen, find your way back to London. You know, Dark Sun G, again, this is what we needed. We needed people like Chris and you to be in that dugout right now, to be also in that dressing room right now and just giving those boys absolutely what they deserve, which is just not kind words at all. And in fact, probably even threats at this rate, because the fact that they're robbing a living from this club, you really do think sometimes, you know, the fact that these guys are being paid 90 grand, 80 grand, 70 grand a week, 100 grand a week in some cases as well, especially what we know about Dele Alli, to produce like this against Vitesse. I don't have words for it. Really don't.
Yeah, I'm just fed up with it. I'm fed up with the same old people letting us down. Like, we shouldn't even be sitting here at halftime right now, you know, giving out about it. Where's the creativity going to come from? Where's the you know, the right attitude going to come from? Like, the thing is, it was from the very off that we made this game tricky. We were nervous. They done their homework on us, you know, with the players we have in there, the likes of Winks and Davies and stuff like that. You should get at them straight away. That would be my team talk. And they've done it. Just get at them. Close them down. Run at them. Make them nervous. Upset them. Unsettle them. As Tottenham players, you have to expect this, right? And you have to come out, get on the ball and pass it around. You ease your way into the game, suck the life out of them, and the goals will come. Football is an easy sport as long as you're composed. You have to have composure. You cannot keep panicking and keep kicking away the ball like we're doing. Keep kicking long ball up today in Scarlet like you're trying to do. Stop panicking. Get the ball down. But then that's where you need other players that are looking to come and take it off you. And let's say so, Winks. Come and look to take it off your defenders, off your goalkeeper. Get turned and get the ball forward. That's why you're in there. You should not be spending your time against these, chasing the ball around. You shouldn't be. You should be on the ball. And that's where braveness comes into it. Stop hiding. Stop shirking responsibility. Come looking for the ball. Get on it. Show that you are one of the senior members out there today. Prove why you should be at least on the bench for the West Ham game with a vision of coming on. Prove why. You know?
Yeah. Dave, well said. Actually, perfectly said. Actually, Dermot here with a super chat and a big one as well. Dermot, I hope you're keeping well, Dermot. And I think he's, he had that, midday kind of appointment, or kind of evening appointment, so he's not able to, I think, watch it completely right now. But he says, for what I've seen and heard, it seems like Deli and Winks and Co. have gone missing again. We need to ring in the Guardy here for the missing peoples. I feel for the fans there who paid good money to watch this crap. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, David, just like Dark Sun G is saying, you practically have to ring in the Guardy for this one because honestly, they're just missing players out there, players that are supposed to be footballers and in fact are just impersonating. That's what it also should be, an impersonation report.
Well, Nuno does have the team out here at halftime putting them through their paces, which I do like, I have to say, absolutely putting them through their paces. Look, Dermot, the thing is, again, we have some of the loudest away fans, some of the most loyal away fans. They're privileged and they travel and watch Spurs in the rain or the sun. It's pissing rain over there at the minute. They're still over there, chanting the boys on, giving them that support. These players need to care about that. These away fans are going away traveling to try and make it some sort of comfort for them that maybe there is, you like to try and make them feel at home by singing their names, singing the songs and everything else. And these players are just shitting all over it. Like, it's too cold. I don't want to be here. I shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? I used to represent England. Why should I be put out? I'm fed up with the attitude. I'm fed up with it. And hopefully now Nuno putting them through the paces will get them pumped up for this second half to go out and get the job done. It should already be job done. It should be. These are not great. These are crap. We were in the Champions League final a couple of seasons ago. And now we're struggling to beat Vitesse with our second team, which should be happening. Harry Winks has no excuses. He played in the team that got to a Champions League final. He should have no excuses whatsoever. But big up, Dermot. I really appreciate the support, brother. Really, really appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much it helps. Dark Song G21 says, Winks out, White in, Deli out, McCandy in, and Gill into Cam. What would you say to that, Jack?
And I'm about just kicked off as well, by the way, Dave.
Yeah, kicked off, guys, if anyone wants to sync up.
This is kind of more or less what I said. And, like always, Dark Sun G, we seem to think alike in a lot of respects. And I would say I want to see Harvey White come in immediately. I think he would do a whole lot better. In fact, Dark Sun G, my whole logic is I don't see how anybody could do any worse. Genuinely don't see how anybody could do any worse or be any more anonymous. So might as well put in some players that we know, in fact, are footballers at the end of the day, compared to the likes of Deli and Winks. Marcondi, I think, probably should come in, and then maybe move Brian Hill into that cam role. Possibly if Marcondi wants to play out right or out left, we'll see what he can do. Maybe keep Stevie B where he is, but Stevie B hasn't done anything on that left-hand side. Maybe move him over to the right. I completely agree with all those suggestions, though. Harvey White needs to come in. And Deli needs to go out immediately. And that's actually probably the right way to make those substitutions, actually, when I think about it. Instead of maybe Niall John, you go for someone like Marcondi, who's actually on fire at the moment. And actually makes a lot of sense, actually, Dark Sun G. That's actually better. I think that's a better one than even Niall John, I would say. That's an even better suggestion. So big yourself up, Dark Sun G.
Dark Sun G. The regular says, OMG, Adam McFarlane. It's good to see you, man. Where have you been? I hope you're keeping well. Another international break. God help us. Terry Wright, my man, he says, most of these players are simply not good enough. Winks, Deli, and Davies must go. Strong consideration. He has no consistency.
Hill hits the bar. Oh, what a hit. Unlucky.
Good effort by him.
Harry Winks doesn't even know how to get it off the ground when he hits it.
Jay says, who's going to win? Do you guys think? Look, we should be winning. I think we will win. We should win, but it should be done already. Apocalypse Now says that's the truth. Mark Cross says, let's judge them after the next international break. Ian Ferguson says, just kicked off. DMT says that's the truth. Mark Cross says, most of tonight's starters know their second 11, so they need confidence playing together, getting minutes in matches. They got a 4-game run now, 2 versus Vitesse, Burnley away, and Mora away. I don't think they'll be playing that Burnley game, Mark. I really don't. And look, I can get what you're saying about confidence and everything else, but unfortunately, they put themselves in a position where they're not going to have time to have the confidence and everything else to blend in with these players, because this team is going to be mixed up every single sort of these games. So the ones that are put out there that should be standing out. Confidence should be not a problem. We're talking about 25, 26-year-old responsible men who, may I add, could go off and drink drive and, everything else all these footballers get up to nowadays, and have kids by the time have kids really young and everything else. Now, if they're old enough to have kids and everything else, well, they shouldn't need fans to be patting them on the back and giving them all the confidence in the world. To be honest with you, that's my opinion.
Yeah,
I'll always stick by that.
Yeah, really well said. Really well said. At this rate, no. And again, even on the wages that they're on, Dave, I really don't get it, especially these players who aren't overplayed. You think about Højbjerg, you think about Sonny, you think about, to a degree as well, Romero, to a degree, maybe Gio and players like that. These players are actually playing constantly. And, maybe I do kind of feel bad for them, but the players like Harry Winks, Dele Alli, who've been just sitting doing nothing for weeks. In fact, not playing at all, not doing any sort of effort to try to earn their way back in the squad. And then they come out with this the one time they play. And you just figure, how on earth are we paying somebody whatever hundreds of thousands a week, Dave, just to produce something like this when they've had all the time in the world to be ready for it?
Facts, pure facts, lad. But do you know why there's no excuse? You look at Son, you look at Harry Kane, who lived the ultimate life of a professional footballer. You look at the heights they've reached. The thing is, the reward is there. You have it right in front of you, day in, day out. Kane and Son, you live right, you train right. When things aren't going well, you train harder. Use them as your example. You will reach the levels. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to be like that. We make way too many excuses for footballers nowadays. We treat them like children and not fully grown ass men like they are. If they're old enough to sign a contract and accept 200 grand a week from the club, well, then they should be old enough to make sure that everything's in the place, even confidence and everything else in place, to be able to get out there and perform. Look, football's an easy game. A lot of people want to say, yeah, confidence has a thing with it. Sometimes it does. But we have too many players like that where it's confidence, confidence, confidence. You need to get rid of them. We need to get better mentality players in here. And at the end of the day, this is the level they've been given the opportunity to try and salvage the Spurs careers, and they haven't taken it so far. That's on them. That's not on anybody else.
Well,
yeah,
boys,
it isn't on anybody else.
I missed it. Did we make any halftime subs on there?
No.
No, none. He
That's
just got...
Scarlet! Penalty ref! Penalty ref!
He's getting... Oh my God, he's getting thrown around.
The other way.
Is he blown that the way?
The ball hasn't even gone out, so who is it on then, ref? What's he doing holding himself? Referee, you can't be behind this acting. Oh my God, Dan, you're so unlucky there.
You should have tried to get his shot off sooner. It's just to strengthen the defender.
He's got a hole in his jersey.
Look at that. He's a pen.
Christ, ref.
Give him a saddle and let him ride him in the Grand National.
And he sits on... Oh my God, ref.
Scarlett's been robbed there. Scarlett got robbed.
How bad is it that we're getting to call for a penalty for a 17-year-old against these?
What's this guy even? Oh my God, this guy's actually give him the Oscar as well.
Big up, Amanda Top Heavy. It's good to see you in the chat. Zanuska Ram Shunder's in as well. It's good to see you too. Steve D has popped in as well. It's good to see Stevie D in the building as well. Big yourselves up. Jack, Dermot here with the super chat. He says, my prostate exam was more fun. I feel for you all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Dermot, that just tells me a lot about maybe this game. It really just tells me a lot. Probably, watching even a colonoscopy video could be more exciting, than watching this game at the moment. I would tell you that. Seriously, Dermot, I honestly feel for you that you have to go through this. I seriously do. I really do. Any of the fans that, to a degree, David and I, we have to watch these games, we have to watch these matches. But anybody that, just like Ribsy said, just did it out of their own free will, just did it to have a nice, 90 minutes, just spend a nice hour and a half. And this is what they're given. It's just really shocking, especially, again, I'll speak to it again. The fact that some of these players on the pitch that, to my opinion, have been the worst players on the pitch are the ones that, in fact, are being paid the most. It's not Dane Scarlett. It's not Brian Hill. It's not Tanganga. Those aren't the worst players on the pitch. It's the ones that are, in fact, being paid the most, which is Ben Davies, if I'm not mistaken, who's paid around $80K a week. It is Dele Alli, who we know is paid hundreds of thousands a week. It is Harry Winks, who we, God forsake, I don't even want to know what he's being paid a week. is just genuinely just so concerning. It really is so concerning that these guys have also all weeks to prepare for this match, because they're not England internationals anymore. They're not, at all in contention, for any sort of team ever. These are the only matches they play at this rate. These are the only matches they play. So I genuinely don't get it. I actually don't get how they can't prepare themselves for this match and not be running all around the pitch.
Jack, I don't know if it's just me, but is anyone else just fed up with them turn our club into an embarrassment all the time, giving people a reason to laugh at us, giving the press free headlines? Is no one sick of this at this stage? Because I know I am.
I've been sick of it for years, mate.
I'm fed up with it, man.
We are the only team. We're the only team that can come third in a 2-horse race right now. Like, literally, that's the mentality of the club right now. Let's not forget as well, in this competition, there is no VAR. If we had VAR, that was a pen all day long. That was
the thing is, we shouldn't be relying on that.
We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to.
I think what's even making Dave, but to get to your thoughts there, with the fact that these players turn this into an embarrassment, but then that's what makes it even harder, though, is then the people that, to a degree, continue to have excuse for all of these players that we just mentioned. And that's the part that I also don't think, because then that also turns us into a laughingstock. Because do you really think that these players that sometimes we have excuses for are rated outside our club? Do you really think people even rate Dele Alli anymore that aren't Spurs fans? Like, genuinely, I want to ask people that. Like, people that aren't Spurs fans, they don't rate Dele Alli anymore. People that aren't Spurs fans, they don't rate Harry Winks. They don't rate Ben Davies.
You're right.
Genuinely
only Spurs players do, or only Spurs fans do.
That's the part I genuinely don't get.
Cheeky effort. Who took that effort? That was cheeky.
Stevie.
He caught the keeper out. Stevie B. That was a cheeky effort from distance. Tried to loop one in over the keeper and disguise it as a cross. Very cheeky. But no, I'm seriously fed up, though, of these players just making a laughing stock out of the club. I'm fed up with it. Amanda Top Heavy says, take Daddy off and put a 12-year-old on. We would get more effort. I couldn't agree more.
Marcondi would do so much more right now. He genuinely would. I want to see, and that's what David's brought up before as well. The chat. That's what David's brought up before as well, is these players should be apologizing to the youth, because they should get the job done in the first half and then pass it on to the youth to be able to get their minutes in, to get their playing time in. I mean, why even make the flight if this is what these players are going to do? Why even board the plane if this is what these players are going to do? Because the youth then are just being wasted in this regard as well.
They should be apologizing to the away fans as well.
Go on. Go Stevie.
For fuck's sake.
Oh my God, he passes
it. Just take it on your left.
Takes it to nobody. Passes it to nobody.
Why does he even need to cut inside there? He's showing him left. That's again maybe just them scouting some of these players. Yes, Jaffet. Jaffet just gets.
He's such an animal.
Jesus, ref, again, that's a bit of assault.
Oh
my God.
That's Stevie B.
You
had all the space in the world. He wasn't even David. Also, he's supposed to be pacey. He's supposed to be fast.
How are we struggling against these? How are we struggling?
This is the question. This is the $1 million question, Josh.
When we were put in this tournament, every Spurs fan across the globe was like, this will be easy. We'll win this. Easy pickings. We're struggling against Vitesse, who are currently 6th in the Eredivisie, man. Like, come on.
Yeah,
it's not acceptable.
6th. It's not to be proud of in the Eredivisie. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If these were in England, they'd be Championship League 1.
Mm-hmm. Go and watch non-league football and get better entertainment value for money as well.
Who was it we played pre-season? Mansfield or something like that, and Harry Winks nutmegged himself.
Leighton Orient as well.
Oh. Why are we chasing the ball around? Does anyone else not think this is wrong, that we're the ones chasing the ball around?
They have more corners than us as well. I mean, how does that even make any sense?
DMC 85, I'll take 1-0 at the minute. I think everyone would. Right now. Yeah. We shouldn't have to.
Not even a pair of cojones between a lot of them. I'm sorry, who played that lazy pass? Was that Dele Alli? Oh my God, it's a simple 2-yard pass into the run of Lo Celso. He flicks it, and Lo Celso's given out to him now, and rightly so. That is a 2-yard pass. He is running right beside you. Why are you doing a lazy flick? Pass the ball properly for once in your life. Drives me mad.
Joe in here with a super chat saying, guys, who is responsible for saying these players are crap and we need to give the youth a chance rather than accepting these players as squad players? Steve Hitchen. He's the one who brought in half of these players.
That's it. Well in. Come on.
Just pass the ball fucking properly.
Oh, what is that?
Oh my God, Gio.
Oh, he's been doing so well all game, and that's just, oh my God.
Gio.
No, come on.
No.
I'd love to hear Brian Davis.
Who's coming to help Gil here? Right, Gillini plays him a suicide ball, but who's coming to actually look for a pass off Brian Hill and help him when there's two people around him? Nobody. Where's your midfielders?
Jesus, Gio, why are you... How much do we have to...
Look how much space they've got, man. Like,
yeah, this is getting concerning. They're starting to open up the space here on us. And look at the lack of effort, though. Do you see any one of them really with any urgency trying to get out there?
Daddy doesn't want to be on the pitch.
None of them. There's no urgency. There's no urgency. This is the least I expect, is urgency. You know, running. Joe says, guys, who is responsible for saying these players are crap and we need to give the youth a chance rather than accepting these players as squad players?
Steve Hitchen, I think, is responsible for getting these players in, and even, you know, the fact that we've even given these players new contracts. Whoever even was responsible for that genuinely is responsible. Then as well, though, I know that maybe we want to put in the youth, and because we've been saying that, but in Nuno's position, when you do think about it, he's probably looking at it, he's like, wow, this guy's being paid 90 grand a week, and I can't even, you know, trust him. You know, I'd rather have.
The thing is, the squad players are the ones playing. It's like it's not this youthful lineup that people are making out to be. It's only Gil playing Scarlett. You know, the rest of them are not youths. The rest of them are fully fledged international players. These are the squad players that are actually out there at the minute. Joe, the squad players are the ones out there at the minute, and they're putting this crap. I'd actually rather give the youngsters. I would actually rather give them, because at least you'd see them giving it, trying their all. I can accept some of these stupid mistakes from youngsters, not from a full-grown ass man who wants to flick a ball instead of just passing it with the side of his boot straight into Lo Celso's path. You know?
But he might be saying, David, maybe it's Nuno's fault for picking these players then? But that means then we would just have to be the youth academy then, would just be our second team.
What do we do? Put ourselves into a situation like we did under Jose last year, but come the end of the season, the players are physically bollocksed. Because these players can't step up. That can't keep happening. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but it looks like everyone at Tottenham wants top four back, right? I think that's the thing. Everyone wants Champions League back at board level and everything else, right? That if these players don't do it in the cups, unfortunately, these cups are going to have to waver, and then they're just going to have to sit there and watch us every week from their homes. Because, look, honestly, I'll be honest. None of this goes on Nuno for me. This all goes on the players.
And we said that in the pre-pump up and the pre-match pump up.
He says, that's my point. I am saying we should be given. Yes, sorry, Joe.
Sorry, Joe. We misread that.
I read it wrong.
No, sorry. I read it wrong as well. I read it wrong as well. Sorry, Joe. You know,
but Joe, look, I get you. I agree. Look, you just give White, Niall, John, you know, get them on. I don't care. I've had enough of this crap now. I've had enough. But big up, Joe, my man. I really do appreciate the support, brother.
Legend.
You have no idea how much it actually helps, my man. So you don't. Big yourself up. And we have Tottenham Tantrum. Big up, Dermot. He says, been following Spurs for 41 years, been home and away with Spurs. We have the best fans in the world, and I feel for the younger fans. Delhi Wink sacked them. Dermot, it's actually you guys I feel sorry for. Look, me, I grew up in an era where Tottenham were the underdogs. Tottenham were a cup team, but in the league and everything else, we were always the underdogs. You know, it's you guys I feel sorry for. You've watched our team pick up trophies every single decade. You've watched players give a crap about this badge. You've watched some magnificent players. Gascoigne, Hoddle, Waddle. You have Graham Roberts, Mickey Hazard. You know, the list goes on. You have Jimmy Greaves, even if you go further back. You know what I mean? You have so many great players, and I'm even missing some there. But you have so many great players. I feel sorry for you guys. You guys are the ones that have actually watched the demise. I watched my team be the underdogs going to be the nearly men, one of the best teams on the planet, to now being crap again. But like that was such a short, sustained period of time for us. You know what I mean? Whereas you guys, you've seen us win trophies every single decade.
Oh my God!
Why are you heading? Just let the keeper pick it up.
But also, no, on David's point, Dermot. Well said, David. David, you were speaking facts there, David. It's just that what the problem is that they've seen the standards drop, David. People like Dermot, they've seen the standards drop. They've seen the quality drop in the worst kind of way, like a way that I couldn't even imagine. Genuinely ways I couldn't even imagine. Whereas with us, to a degree, this is kind of what we've grown up with. This is kind of what we've come to expect. But that's what's horrible, is that we've been constantly told this is not what you're supposed to be expecting. This used to be Tottenham Hotspur. This used to be a high quality team. This used to be a type of team that would play attractive football, a team that would be able to destroy teams like this. So that's what the problem is that genuinely some of the younger fans, Dermot, like this is to a degree, I've actually had more experience watching these kind of results or watching this kind of play than probably Dermot does, because Dermot's seen the best of Tottenham Hotspur. He's genuinely seen it. So that's the saddest thing, is I'll never be witness to it.
Spice. Look at the spice. Oh my God.
Oh my God. How's he getting all that room? How is he? Where is Ben Davies? Honestly, is he tucked in beside Roden, Jack?
Harry Winks is also on that side as well. I genuinely don't get it.
Before I open my eyes, please, where is Ben Davies? Where is he?
My heart is going like 150 beats per minute. That shit me up for a minute.
Ben Davies may as well have been sitting in the stand there. That's the left-hand side. That's where your left fullback should be. Why is it every time he plays, Jack, he's so scared, he's always tucked in? I've seen him tucked in beside Dyer so many times. I've seen him tucked in hiding behind Roden, hiding behind Sanchez. He's always too close in beside the centre-back because he knows his pace is crap. But the thing is, read the game better. Work on your positioning. Put yourself in the right positions. The great Paolo Maldini had zero pace.
Oh, no.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, no. Get Sanchez out of here. Get him out of here.
That's it. That's
no, I have no. I'm sorry, but actually, Joe Roden and Sanchez, they're not my back four anymore. They genuinely can't.
Do you know what, guys?
They genuinely can't be. It's actually Eric Dyer, Tanganga now. It really is. It's Eric Dyer and Tanganga. I can't handle them anymore. There's no way.
Do you know what, Jack? I'm actually happy that like Kane or Son, Højbjerg, Skip, that they're not actually out there with this and being tainted with that same brush. I'll be honest with you. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I agree though, Dave, because there's no, like I said, the babysitters aren't here to save them anymore, Dave. The babysitters aren't here to save them. That's why I actually want it as well, because they're going to have to be big boys, David, and they're going to have to find a result here themselves. They can't rely on the best players in our club to save them from all these results. Like, that's what I also hate, is that when people say we should have brought Kane and Son, it's like, do you really expect your babysitter to be there every single time you need them?
Good ball, like, good ball.
Leighton, I do get what you're saying. Look, I would be pissed off if Nuno doesn't make a change to try and change this. It's clear. Look, stop persisting with Ali Winks. Make a change in there. Get on an Niall John, someone like that. Even if it doesn't get better, you have to send out a statement. But look, none of this goes on Nuno. Leighton, ask yourself this. How many times have you seen these players come in and let us down? We cannot let these players take a third manager down. They already done it with the great Pochettino. They already done it with Jose Mourinho. When I'm not gonna let them do it with Nuno. I'm not. Sometimes you have to hold these players accountable. It's that simple. Stop scapegoating them. Stop with this. Oh, they're not confident. His coffee machine wasn't working this morning, so the coffee wasn't ready when he came downstairs. He's not in the right frame of mind today. This sort of crap. I'm absolutely fed up with it. They're well able to go off on their little holidays and everything else. You know what I mean? They don't need confidence to do that. I'm absolutely fed up with it. I'm sick of these players. And it's not a overreaction, because let's be honest, right? None of the first 11 are out there. We have to take stock of that. We know that. But the problem is that eventually the first 11 are going to be put in these situations, in these games, to play them where they shouldn't have to be. They should be ready and be able to take a rest and be fresh for a West Ham, who, when Harry Winks didn't make that challenge at the end of last season, Davinson Sanchez scored that own goal. West Ham came back 3-3. Stopped our momentum, stopped our run going forward. We were up around the top of the league when that happened. I'm absolutely fed up with it. I'm fed up with it. Dark Song G says left back needed ASAP. This is why in January we need a left back.
Yeah,
No, I
exactly,
fully agree.
Dark Sun G.
fully
Exactly,
agree.
because as well with Ryan Sessegnon being practically, how many games has the guy actually genuinely played when he's actually been available? I know Ryan Sessegnon, maybe it's not his fault when it comes to these injuries and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we're just going to have to give up on him as well if he's just going to constantly be on the operating table. And genuinely, if he's never going to be available, then we need to just realize that the left back actually is a position that we need to fill then, and we need to fill it ASAP. And I said Tyrell Malacia, Dark Sun G, if we had a bit of cash, and this is a horrible suggestions, but I would take Gozens from Atalanta, because that would be kind of another wing back that could do a lot for us as well.
Look at Steven Bergwijn over here on the left-hand side. Look how much he just let the fullback go and take that ball. Press! Jesus Christ, you lazy scumbag. He literally watched the left back walk or the right back walk back to pick up the ball.
Even that pass in the middle right there, David. He also easily could have taken that pass in the middle. Easily. He knew exactly where that player was playing.
There's just no communication at all, is there?
Look, that's not even communication, though, Josh. That's just lazy.
Oh, Golini saving shots from outside box.
Why are we giving them so much space?
Josh,
that's their right back. That's their like right wing back as well.
No, guys, this is a recurrent team. When Harry Winks plays in the middle, go back and watch all the games the guy has played in Tottenham. Think back to Bayern Munich 7-2. Whenever he plays, whenever Harry Winks is in the middle, teams will get this space. I've said this time and time again since I first started going on We Are Tottenham TV. Whenever he plays, look at him. He's just sauntering around. Look at him. How many boys are running off him? Is he getting stuck in?
How many boys are making the tackles for him? How many boys are making the tackles for him?
Do it. Look at him. That's the reason why people get so much space whenever he plays in centre midfield.
Oh my God. What's he even doing a sliding tackle there for?
Oh, he's embarrassing.
Just hoof it out.
How much does he need to walk, David? If you actually just keep your eye on him as well. Like, how much walking can he be doing here? He's supposed to be a center defensive midfielder.
Look, I always do this. When I'm not sure on a player's ability anymore, and I give them a good watch. Look at him still standing there. Now he's throwing his hands up in the air and all. Like, I always give these players a good watch. And you're just looking at them. Everybody, I encourage you to rewind your TV 2 minutes and look at how much walking around he has done there. And then ask yourself why they're getting so much space in midfield.
Joe's saying 100%. It's all down to these players. The punishment needs to be applied in January with their departures from the club. Left back, center back, defensive midfielder, winger, striker needed. Left back, I'll just quickly answer them. Tyrell Malacia, someone who's been scouted a lot by Kuba99, I believe, and plenty others from flatcapeurotalk. Center back, James Tarkovsky, I would say, would be a cheap, kind of person to go for. This is scary. Just a moment, though. Jesus. Okay, he's offside. Center back, James Tarkovsky. Plenty others. Edmund Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen. Center defensive midfielder, Bruno Guimaraes. I personally think, David, imagine watching Bruno Guimaraes instead of Harry Winks here. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, he'd take us to the top 4 as well, Bruno Guimaraes.
Bruno Guimaraes would rip this game up. He'd absolutely destroy it. But guys, everybody out there as well, think why when Ollie Skip and Højbjerg play, why teams don't get all the space and time in the middle. It's because of how proactive they are about getting around, getting blocks in and turning the ball over. Now watch Harry Winks and how much space he allows them to have and how much time he allows them to have in midfield, how much control he actually gets them to have. Just think about it. Go back and think about what Skip and Højbjerg do in the midfield compared to Harry Winks. How many turnovers have you seen Harry Winks made today?
No. I haven't even seen him win the tackle, Dave. And we saw him getting bounced around, Dave. We absolutely saw him getting bounced around. The guy is, I genuinely actually think, Dave, he's actually suffered like a growth, the opposite of a growth spurt. He's almost become smaller and weaker over time.
Another thing, right? How many times do you see Højbjerg and pressuring the people in midfield getting the ball? How many pressures have you seen Harry Winks made here today?
Jesus, Dave, you just opened up my mind there, especially when it comes to pressures again. Alex Davies,
these things are important in football, especially in the middle of the park.
He's supposed to have, as a defensive midfielder, he's supposed to have the most pressures. You genuinely are. Like Dele Alli, at least we knew from, when he was playing that position, would have a lot of pressures. But Harry Winks, when we saw that standing there as well, even look at that. He just lets these players have the passes there. He doesn't even want to approach them, Dave. He doesn't even want to.
Look, I'm going to back off here, man. Have the ball. Sick of it.
Genuinely, David, that you open up my mind there. That's a big light bulb. I mean, if anybody knows what a pressure is, if anybody knows, any sort of pressure, any sort of, just running after a player, making it harder for him. I mean, the guy is just fucking anonymous, in that regard. He doesn't want to get stuck in, but he wants to play defensive midfielder, but he doesn't want to get stuck in. He wants to basically play for a team that has 100% of the ball, 90% of the ball. I actually genuinely don't get it anymore. I really don't. I don't understand what Harry Winks is. I actually don't get who he is.
It just leads to unnecessary situations like this. Like, yet another set piece that we'll have left to defend. The set pieces aren't exactly our best area, are they? To be fair.
Seriously, though. I mean, then I might move on. Winger. We've said plenty of suggestions. Obviously, Ajax Anthony would be like the blank check. One. That Kavicha guy would be another answer. There are plenty of people out there for winger. Madueke, also a great winner. And then striker, I would say, to actually fix the winger thing and the striker thing at the same time, I again would go for Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven. I genuinely think he would fix both of those at the same time. But I mean, Joe, you're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on. It really speaks to it.
Lucky. Do you know what? I just want to say as well, look, a lot of people, right, and I can see it already coming. Scarlett's too young. Scarlett's not good enough, and they're going to blame Scarlett, right? Now, the thing is, you have to defend this guy. And let me tell you why. It's because when you don't have the ball, right, why are you putting the result on Dane Scarlett not getting the goals when you don't have the ball to be able to provide him the chances to get the goals? You know what I mean? So if people are saying this about Scarlett and do try and pin this on Scarlett today.
He didn't even make contact. That's ridiculous. The referee is right in front of him as well.
I encourage everybody to defend this kid. The thing is, if you're not winning the game in midfield, you can't expect a 17-year-old to get you the goals. It's that simple for me. Dylan McCandy is coming on for Dane Scarlett. It's looking like so Scarlett out, McCandy in. Let's see what he can do. But do not put this on the young kid. The thing is, you have to put this on the midfield. You can't get control of midfield. You can't expect the kid to score goals. It's that simple. So do not allow people, to take blame Dane Scarlett for this. Do not allow it.
Yeah, I just don't. It's never his fault, especially what we've seen. Dele Alli's, creative ability, David.
It can't be his fault today. It can't be,
It can never be his fault. I genuinely don't think so because he's not someone like, I don't know, David. He's not like a Mandzukic. He's not even to a degree kind of like a Harry Kane in that regard, where he relies on people feeding him through the channels. Someone that works very hard and getting him behind, running through the channels, making the right runs in behind. Then all you need then is service. That's all you need is just service, and he's just never gets it. Marcondi should make a run here.
Couldn't agree more. But big up, Joe. I really appreciate the support, brother, and a great talk.
Joe, well said. Well said. Well said, Joe.
Yeah, I just want to touch on what obviously Dave said about blaming Dane Scott. Like, people can't blame him. Like, he's 17 years. He's 17, isn't he? And you're dropping and you're dropping him in. This is a deep end for him. I said this earlier on. This is the deep end for him. Like, if you don't want to play him in a fixture like this, where do you play him? You want him to develop into a player. You want him to develop into the next Harry Kane. That's what everyone wants. He's the prodigy son, isn't he, really? If you can't play him in this, where do you play him? This is the perfect fixture for him to play. But he needs the delivery. He's only going to fruition into a great player, and this is the perfect stage for him to do that.
I'm just worried that it's going to be, look, Dane Scarlett isn't the answer. We should have had a backup striker. Yeah, we should have a backup striker. I don't disagree with that. But the thing is, Dane Scarlett isn't the reason this result is happening, the reason why we haven't scored today. When your defenders and your midfielders can't get control of the game, they're booting balls long because they're panicking and there's no composure. There's no way you could put that on a 17-year-old kid. There's no way you can. You have to be honest with yourself. Everyone that's played football, if your midfielder not in control of that game, how hard is the game? No matter what position you are in the field, how hard is the game? It's 10 times harder. It's 10 times harder than what it should be. So just do not put this on Dane Scarlett today.
Jesus, Harry Winks just loves to just overhit anything, underhit anything that I've never seen him put in an actually decently weighted pass this entire game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
more.
Dave.
Sorry.
No, Ribsy with the super chat, he says half of them need to swim home. Planes is for winners. I couldn't agree more. Honestly, do what I think it was Dark Song G said it earlier on. Give them a ding in a paddle and say, find your way home. Don't let them board. At the end of the day, You know, they can cry all they want.
Some of them don't even deserve the rowboat, Ribsy. Some of them don't even deserve the rowboat. They better be good swimmers, honestly. They genuinely better be. You know, might as well. You know, some people already have to do that in order to.
No way. No way. Where does that goal come from? The edge of the box. Who's picking them up?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Who's picking them up?
Oh my God. Who's supposed to be at the top of the 18? Who's supposed to be at the top of the 18 to prevent this?
We know the answer. We know the answer.
Oh my God. And it's another shot from outside the box as well. This is shit. This is actually, no, Dave, this is worse than Pachos for me. This is genuinely worse.
I'd be finding the likes of Ben Davies. I'd be finding the likes of Davison Sanchez. I'd be finding them all a week's wide.
Where's your midfielders, though?
Where's Harry Winks dropping in the box?
The thing is, your midfielders are the ones
that. Oh my God!
Like, there's two of them free. There's two of them free on the edge of the area. Your midfielders are the ones there. Your defense is supposed to take what's in the box. Your midfielders are responsible for anyone else running into the box or anyone else in and around the edge of the box. That's why you play two holding midfielders. They're responsible for that. Where are they? It's exactly what I'm talking about.
There's genuinely no way. There's genuinely no way.
Where are they? They're on holiday. Absolutely ridiculous. But big up, Ribsy. I agree.
No, Ribsy, at this rate, Ribsy, I'm not kidding. There would be ones that would give a rowboat, and then there would be ones that would say, no, listen, you have to swim home. That's what I would say. And, you know, maybe might as well just give them maybe a life vest or something, you know, just be humane about it. And then that's all I would say. And I would say, you know, maybe pick the morning, you know, to go swimming. Don't do it at night. It gets a bit cold. You know, genuinely, I don't get it, actually. I genuinely don't get how these people can be being paid 80 grand a week, 90 grand a week, 100 grand a week for this. This is just shit. And especially the best players in this match, David, are probably our lowest paid players, you know, when you think about that as well.
Yeah.
So it's just genuinely don't get it anymore. I genuinely don't get it anymore. Like, how on earth can people defend Harry Winks? How on earth can people defend Ben Davies? How on earth can people defend Dele Alli? I really don't get it anymore. It's not even a joke anymore for me. It really isn't. It's actually pissed me off.
Winks, what are you crying about? You're 10 minutes too late.
I don't want to sound like I'm
your arms around. Do something. Actually,
he's such a fucking actor, Harry Winks. He's such a fucking actor as well. Just throwing his hands up at the ref there. Jesus Christ.
I don't want to sound like I'm trying to find a scapegoat here, but the refereeing hasn't exactly been great, is it? He's been very.
No, he hasn't. But the players.
You can't. As I said, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. We've been fucking dreadful.
Tottenham Tantrum says not Nuno's fault. Sack, Winks, Dele and Co had enough. It's not. This is not Nuno's fault. We're going to put out a new 11 with at the weekend, and you're going to see a marked improvement. There's no way it's the same formation. There's no way this can be on Nuno. It's the exact same formation. The difference in contrast is we slapped Newcastle. It was so easy. And then today, you put out some of these guys and look at the results. It's what we've seen under Jose Mourinho when these guys played. It's what we've seen under Pochettino when these guys played. When are we going to learn our lesson? When are we going to learn our lesson?
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, though.
Not Nuno's fault. Thank you, Dermot. Thank you so much. Jordan Stevens also, Dave. Jordan Stevens celebrating an 8-month orange membership or gold membership here, saying Højbjerg thinks 2 passes ahead all the time. Winks is constantly 5 minutes behind. He is mentally slow and has no footballing brain. Too reactive. I mean, Jordan Stevens. I mean, thank you for celebrating 8 months. Big yourselves up, as well as Brian Daigle was also celebrating 8 months today. You know, I mean, David and I have only recently even celebrated. You know, David's only recently even celebrated the year birthday. And so some of people like Brian Daigle, people like Jordan Stevens have been around for a very long time. And I'll just repeat that, David, because I think it's perfectly said. Højbjerg thinks 2 passes ahead all the time. Winks is constantly 5 minutes behind. He's mentally slow and has no footballing brain. Too reactive.
And I just want to say, big up, Jordan, my man. I hope everything is good with you, brother. I really do. Long time no see. And look, I'd love to get you on a fan show again and everything, man. But, man, do drop me a message and just let me know everything is okay with you, brother. Please do. Lightwork says, how are we struggling? We are one of the top teams in it. Yeah, we're struggling because the same old players, Lightwork. Same old players every single time. That's why we're struggling. You know, because because these guys can't step up to the plate. They can't be men. They can't play the most simple sport in the world and play with a bit of pride and a bit of passion. They don't care about the people, the fans that travel to them away games. They couldn't care less. They just have the attitude, I shouldn't be here. And that's it. It's not good enough. I've absolutely haven't had enough. This should not be happening.
There's no way Harry Winks is actually getting an argument with somebody. The guy's actually laughing at him.
I couldn't agree more, Philip. Steve D says, hopefully the squatters get hammered. Yeah, I hope so. Because, again, it's up to the big boys to, put respect back on our name until the next week, till these boys go out and lose to fucking Rennes or NC Moore or Harrogate Town or something like that. The regular says, why is Winks fighting? You can't even pass forward. Yeah, I get it. I see, this is the thing. Taliesin, why though, guys? How comes these players don't want to play for Levy? No, look, this isn't on. Look, it's on Levy because they're still here. But, it's... The thing is, they represent the football club. Levy's is only the custodian. Like, Winks, homegrown lad, loves the club. Just shit, just not good enough. It's a joke. Braden Hill says, yeah, exactly, be quiet. He says, Nuno, shut up with the Nuno out BS. If anything, Levy should convince Nuno to stay. Also, Joe says, Roma are losing 6-1 and at least Ole Shoeshiner is still in the job. I agree. It's not his... It's not Nuno's fault today, my man. Russ is in. He says, it's the players, not Nuno. I did mention on another stream a few weeks ago that Nuno was the 10th choice manager. Yeah, I remember that, my man. Big yourself up. Dermot with the super chat says, sorry to say this, please. I'm not being nasty, but Alex, are you watching this now? Do you see how crap Winks is? Not fit to lace Højbjerg's boots. Again, not being rude.
Not even fit to breathe his air. I mean, I wouldn't even be allowed. It'd be like social distancing, Dave. Wouldn't even allow Harry Winks to even be within 5 feet, 6 feet of Harry Winks, just because I figured, he might be poisoning him with the air that Harry Winks must be breathing. That's what I'd probably say. It really is at this rate. I genuinely don't get it. Like, I'm actually starting to get pissed at anybody who even I don't think anybody does defend Harry Winks anymore. If anybody does, I mean, seriously, take a good hard look at yourself, as well as Ben Davies. You can't defend him anymore. Dele Alli, again. I think people can still have their thoughts on Dele Alli, but you've clearly seen today what that guy can produce, and that's absolute zilt. It's zilch. It's sincerely concerning how far Dele Alli has fallen. And David, that fall of Dele Alli episode could not come any sooner. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but Jack, I think it's because he's playing in the wrong position, is it not? People are saying now he's playing in the wrong position. He should be playing strike, even though he's never played there in his life. I just don't get it.
Not even that. Like they say, we need to play, the Harry Kane role with, and then it's like, well, we all know that was Christian Eriksen that was giving him those balls. And then even today, he has Brian Hill, he has Stevie B, he has Gio Lo Celso, all right behind him to be able to do the things for him, to be able to give him any sort of passes, any sort of development, and he can't do any of it. I mean, he's also just, again, I've never seen a guy that just jogs so constantly, especially to create space for himself. Like, he actually just sits there and jogs. He never actually sprints to create position. He doesn't even actually know how to move around in that number 10 position. He genuinely does not know how to move and create space for himself. That's also the problem. So it's like, why on earth would you play him behind the striker? Why on earth would you play him behind the striker if he doesn't even know how to move for the ball? Genuinely.
Everybody out there that's watching right now, if there's anybody new, make sure everyone does smash that like button on the stream, please. It's a great way to help with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe button on the channel if you are new as well. We're 6 away from getting to 4.4K. Let's see if we can make that happen, guys. And look, keep getting in the super chats. When the chat is flying, it's a great way to get to the very top of the queue. And look, we'll get straight to your comment and give it a good discussion. But big up, Dermot.
Big up, Dermot. Also, Dermot, very much appreciate all the support as well. Very much appreciate all the support as well, my brother.
Let's take a few more Harris Army comments. Fresh Kid TV, big yourself up. Dave Woodford says, why not switch to wingers? Yeah, fair point. Fresh Kid TV, big yourself up. Kane the long shot, good to see him, brother. Says, please, Dele in the right role. We did in the North London Derby. How did that turn out? Couldn't agree more, my man. Could not agree more. DMT85 says, D, maybe they should listen in the first place. 100%. Chris Benoit says, Nuno is a blind man pretending to observe the game. Look, Chris Benoit, this is not on Nuno. This is purely on them players. Look at the difference. Same formation and everything else against the weekend. And why there's such dramatic turnaround? Because of the decline and because of the sheer contrast in talent. That's what it's about. It's just not on Nuno by any means, man. Brian Maguire says we can forget top 5 if we have to rely on these clowns. If injuries happens, forget about. I agree. Adam McFarlane, Delhi is a fair play. Jam Free, Kane, Winks, Delhi, Ndombele, so they can do all ex-Levy Hotspur players do and win silverware. D again says Nuno again stands silently watching. Because he's just shell shocked at the sheer shit and the decline.
We got Brain Sample too. Brain Sample has joined us as well, saying Delhi doesn't want to mess his hair up. And also, if the fact that Brain Sample is someone who's very, very new to this, army, very new to this channel, he already clearly has given up on Delhi as well. Just speaks to it. He doesn't even have to. Davey barely even heard any of us, speak about Delhi before, and he's already convinced as well. It just speaks to it. Really does. Golden
Cock says worst thing about the stadium tour is trying to get a pick in Kansas seat without having Wink shirt in the pick. 100%, couldn't agree more. Theo Shilton, it's good to see you, my man. I hope things are well with you. Where have you been, brother? Where have you been? He says, don't forget, though, we have great stadium to host NFL games.
And boxing events as well.
Christopher Inshaw says, sell Winks to Newcastle. TTV says, let's get him. Who else have we got? I just want to try and get everybody in, try and give everyone a fair read. Give me 1 second, guys. Vince Vegas says, we truly 100%. Who else have we got? William McKenzie says, these spoiled players, they can't battle for 90 minutes. I couldn't agree more. ATX7 Gaming says, Vitesse had 15 shots. We only have 5. Terry Wright says, Winks has never been the same since that freak ankle injury. He's done at this level. I couldn't agree more. He's absolutely finished. Joseph Hallworth also says, Delhi can piss off back to NK Dons. Slow Jam Round says, what is the desire? Shocking again. And please, don't blame the manager. Big up, guys. Couldn't agree more, my man. I could not agree more. Jack, let's start getting through some of these super chats here.
Cuba99 saying, I prefer it when your streams are football related. Yeah, we haven't been watching football today, Cuba99. Genuinely haven't. This just wasn't football. Again, Dermot was saying, his prostate exam was even more exciting, was even more entertaining. So that just speaks to a Cuba99, to a fact, Dermot was taking a page out of your book with that one. So Cuba99, I apologize. Probably should ask for a refund. Genuinely should ask for a refund. Joe Grimes, big up Joe Grimes. Good to see you, brother.
Joe. Hope your exam went well, brother. Hope you absolutely aced it, my man.
And he says Antwerp 2.0, Davies, Winks, Sanchez, etc. all played. Yep. There you go. You're singing from the hymn sheet there, Joe.
People are actually starting to wake up to it, though, Jack, which is good. It's not just me spouting it. People are actually looking into it now, and they're starting to wake up and realize it. It's good to see.
Yeah, that's actually well said as well, David. I think there's no way someone can be a Harry Winks defender at this rate. There's no way someone can defend Ben Davies anymore. There's no way people can defend some of Dele Alli even as well. A lot of people are really giving up on Dele Alli after a match like this as well, which thank God. It really is, Dave. It really is. It's actually, to a degree, maybe, if anything, is a blessing in disguise from this, which there really isn't. It genuinely is just they are waking up to these players.
Oh, my God. One of you get the ball down. Jesus Christ, Winks. What are you doing back there?
How much does he need to walk? Hey, David, he was walking the whole time, and then he actually almost gives up a goal there as well. Played his opposition in behind. This is actually the best pass he's played all day, and it was to the other team.
It's getting unbearable.
I think it's time to have that discussion. Who's everyone's man of the match? If we have to pick one,
it's not. I mean, what's the opposite of man of the match? That's what it is. Who's actually been the worst?
Exactly. 100%. That's the point.
Dark Sung G says the 3 embarrassing loss this season all include Easy Pass, Catastrophe, Patros and Palace, and maybe today. Please get rid of these 2 first, and then Delhi. 100%. And Delhi was a part of that Palace one as well, my man. He was a part of that Palace one as well. I could not agree more. Dark Sung G. Jack, what would you say, Dark Sung G?
Yeah, Dark Sung G speaks so much sense. I don't even know how to say it better than him each time. Yeah, and that's also maybe a very good point as well. That Delhi was also a part of that Crystal Palace performance. I genuinely don't get it anymore. Dark Sung G. It's just...
This is embarrassing.
Dark Sung G, this is the other part that I feel bad for Nuno, because I'll repeat it again and I sound like a broken record, but Harry Winks is probably paid, 80 grand, 70 grand, a week, to be putting in a performance like this. Ben Davies is being paid 90 grand a week, I think, when I looked it up, to be putting in a performance like this. We know Delhi's being paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week in order to be putting in performances like this. And also, Dark Sung G, These guys did not go on international break. In fact, they were probably just sitting at home doing nothing the entire time, and yet they can't come out and put in a performance against a team like this. And this team only beat Enes Mira by 2 goals. They lost to Rennes. So they're actually the 3rd place group, and now they're probably going to actually soar up to the top. So just really speaks to it. Actually, they were supposed to be an easier team than Rennes. Genuinely supposed to be an easier team than Rennes. So again, speaks to the whole situation. It really does, Dark Sun G. And I don't have any more words for these players anymore. Really don't. Especially the 3 that we just mentioned. This is why even when I did my career mode, Dark Sun G, I canceled the contract of Ben Davies. I canceled the contract of Harry Winks because I think it's actually a disservice to the game that these guys can even be offered for any value of money at all. I really do. I just think it's just unrealistic that anybody would even pay a price for some of these players. I really don't get it, especially in Harry Winks' case. I don't think you could even pay any price for them. So Dark Sun G, there you are. But as always, speaking a lot of sense, brother.
Well, last minute of extra time here. It's been fucking abysmal, isn't it? Absolutely abysmal. Well, we've got a last minute free kick. Hopefully we get something from this, but
Tottenham Tantrum saying, and Nuno we trust. Today is not his fault. If all the players that he picks can't play, then I'm embarrassed tonight. It's hard. He's had enough. Yeah, Dermot. Well said. Well said. This is my also issue as well, Dermot. Is it Nuno's fault? We've all looked at this team on paper and we were like, wow, this should be plenty good enough to be able to get a performance. This should be plenty good enough in order to win a game. And it simply wasn't, and it simply isn't, which then just speaks to the quality of some of these players. It genuinely does. And because as well, when people are saying, oh, we should have played Kane, we should have played Son, we should have brought Højbjerg and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, it's like bringing in your babysitters. It really is. It's like, somehow like your mom and dad have to do everything for you kind of situation. It genuinely is like your mom and dad have to do everything for you. So I really don't anymore really get how we can then say that Højbjerg, it's unrealistic to say that Højbjerg, Kane, and Skippy and all these players need to play in these matches. It just doesn't make sense. It actually doesn't make sense to even make that argument, because that then says, again, and I'll ram it home, David, it says a whole lot about these fucking players. If we need Kane, Sonny, and Skippy and Højbjerg for these matches, I don't actually genuinely get it, because then that means we're going to be playing them too much. We're going to be sacrificing them for the West Spam game. We're going to be sacrificing them for the fucking glass hammers. I genuinely don't get that argument anymore, because then we're just abusing other players to do literally then Harry Skip's work, to be doing Winks's work, Davies' work, all the rest of them. Like, that means we can't play any of these players anymore. We genuinely can't. Like, what games do you play Harry Winks in? What games do you play Davies in? What games do you play Dele in, Dave? I actually don't get it then. If they're not good enough for this, I genuinely don't know what games you play them in, because they weren't even good enough for Colchester, Dave.
I'm absolutely sick of it. Look, I'm absolutely sick of it. It's the same players. Look, if people want to, Nuno out, I see it trending and all at the minute. Fair enough. That's their opinion. Everyone's allowed to have their opinion. When it comes to football, everyone does see it through different lenses. Look, my opinion is that I can't keep blaming the managers for this situation. The fact of the matter is, and it is over, it has ended Vitesse 1, Tottenham 0. The fact of the situation is ask yourself this. Same formation as Newcastle, as Aston Villa, right? Same formation as them games. Different players. Now, the players that we're talking about are players that played against Antwerp last season, players that played against Pacos de Fer at the start of this season, players that played against Crystal Palace, players that played against Colchester when this sort of shock happened. We have to now get these players to start taking responsibility for some of these results that are happening. Because at the end of the day, what message this sends out to the worldwide is Tottenham lost, Nuno is a crap manager, when that is not the case. When you look into it, it's the same formation, it's different players. Now, it's a drop-off. It's a drop-off in quality. But not only that, though, it's a drop-off in attitude. It's a drop-off in attitude. We cannot keep blaming these managers and throwing them under the bus. At the end of the day, if we had a first 11 out there, this wouldn't have happened. But you can't keep expecting Nuno to bring the first 11 absolutely everywhere. Look where it got us last season. We tired out last season because we had to rely on these players so much, play them week in, week out. And people are going mad. Oh, why is Jose picking Kane for this game? Or why is Jose playing some for this game? We need to rest him. We don't want him to get injured for the weekend. Well, there's a reason why he was doing it. is because this exact thing keeps happening. And all it does is put the manager under pressure. Nobody else. It puts the manager under pressure. This one is not on the manager. This one is on the players. When you see the same results keep happening when these guys are playing, you can't be blind. You can't stay blind to it no longer. You have to just own up. I get it. Some people are personally attached to these players. They're their idols. We all remember what they've done in the past. But that's in the past. That's years ago, man. That's years ago. We're now talking about present. And in fact, half of these players got us to the situation we're in. They ended up getting Pochettino sacked. Where was Dele Alli performing when Pochettino's job was on the line? Where was Harry Winks' performances when his performance were on the line? Where were Ben Davies' performances when his job was on the line? Where was Sissoko's performances? Okay, he's gone now. But where are all these players' performances when manager was on the line? Same as Jose Mourinho last season. Where were their cojones when his job was on the line? Nowhere to be seen. You know, look, Nuno learned his lesson. The reason why he doesn't put any of these guys near the Premier League squad is because he knows what's going to happen. But he's in a situation with the sheer amount of games we play. You have to give these guys these sort of games. And these are games you expect them to win. They can't do it. You can't blame Nuno. You have to put everything on some of these players right now. The common denominators. I feel sorry for Scarlett out there. He's going to be made another scapegoat tonight, Jack. Dane Scarlett, right? But when your midfield doesn't control a game like they should be doing, when your midfield can't get a grip of the game, when your defenders are panicking on the ball and ballooning it long, what chance are you giving the kid to even succeed? None whatsoever. You could even stick Llorente up there today. It's not going to change. Harry Kane, it's not going to change. When we were playing crap and we were doing the exact same thing we done tonight against Palace and all, where Harry Kane looked awful, but people blamed Harry Kane. It's not the striker's fault. You cannot blame Scarlett tonight. Steven Bergwijn, anonymous. Okay, he's off the back of a long injury, but he was crap, man. It was poor attitude out there tonight. At one stage, he let the right back drop deep to get the ball. Instead of pressing him and trying to get on it, you know, make the keeper go along with it, eliminate the pass out from the back. That's what was killing us. They had total control of the game at the stage. Go and do your work. Press. This is where we need you to do the work. Didn't do it. You know, you look at Dele Alli. Absolutely awful. At one stage, he had a simple 2-yard pass to Lo Celso, who was bombing forward. All you have to do is play into his part, let him take it. He tries one of his flicks. Now, the reason why Dele Alli found his way out of the team against Jose Mourinho, and no one can deny this because it happened against Stoke, when he flicked the ball and gave it away, and Stoke went up and scored in that quarter-final, he was hauled straight off. Because Nuno, and because the reaction of Mourinho, when he done that, you could tell Mourinho was after saying to him, trap the ball and pass it. Right? You look at him tonight. You know, he's come in. I'm sorry, but Dele Alli's best years were when he was running off Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen was doing all the feeding work. Christian Eriksen made Dele Alli look good. It's no surprise, and I've said this before, that when Christian Eriksen's form dropped off, Dele Alli's form dropped off. Dele Alli's goals came because of the runs he was making off Kane. He had Christian Eriksen to find him. He had Son to find him. Dele Alli is not a creator. He cannot play that number 10 role unless you're going to put him in running off the striker. But you can't do that because you don't have someone like Christian Eriksen to feed him, right? You look at Brian Hill. He tried tonight. He tried to take on players. Even when he lost the ball, he was running back trying to win it back. You know? Like, the thing is, then you go into midfield. Let's go into midfield. Lo Celso. This guy plays for Argentina. Messi waxes lyrical about this guy. Where was he tonight? Let's be honest. I thought he was awful tonight.
Yeah, you should.
As an Argentinian international, he should be dominating with ease. With ease. Anonymous. It doesn't help that he has that other idiot beside him, Harry Winks. Now, this guy, you know, he's being bounced around like a ping pong ball in there. You know, he can't pass the ball properly. He's getting his pocket picked. And then where were Lo Celso and Winks on that goal? Your defenders are supposed to drop with that ball and stop anything coming across. Your midfielders then are supposed to pick anyone up around the edge of the box. Where were they? The two of their players were free. Winks and Lo Celso were nowhere near it. Then you ask yourself, how do they come about dominating this game? Okay, well, they come about dominating the game is because we gave them so much time in the middle. I said this during the game. When you have Harry Winks or when you have Højbjerg and Skip in there, watch how proactive they are about going and turning the ball over. How little time teams have in midfield, right? And how composed they are on the ball. when they turn it over or when they do get it. And then you look at tonight. No pressure in there. They let them walk around the midfield with the ball. They opened up space left, right, and centre because there was no pressure. It was a cakewalk in there for them today. You look at Ben Davies, constantly, how much room was down his side, and where was Ben Davies? Standing holding Joe Rodon's hand. No, get out to the left. By giving them all this space, you're just allowing them to keep attacking, keep putting balls in the box. Tanganga, he tried tonight. He mauled anything that came down his side. He tried. Sanchez, Rodon, no composure. From the minute one, they were rattled. They were ballooning balls. The touches were all over the spot. Not them, but the whole team. The thing is, you can't put this on Nuno. You can't let Scarlett be the scapegoats. You have to put it on the same old individuals. And that's where I'm at with this. I'm sorry I've been rambling. I just want to get through some of these super chats. And then we can get Josh and Jack in. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to get that out.
No, you had to, Dave, and maybe take a drink as well, if you need it as well. Dermot, though, big yourself up. You couldn't hit the nail more on the head. I still believe in Nuno, and I don't think this is at all his fault. Missed one there, Dave. Joe, I have it covered, Dave. I have it covered. Joe here, he's saying, get rid of these players. I hate so many of them. Joe, I genuinely, now I'm going to say I don't even know what a Dele Alli is anymore. I've said that about Nat Doherty. I've said that about Winks. I've said that about Ben Davies. I've said that about plenty of others. I don't even know who they are because they're football impersonators. I completely agree, Joe. I really don't know who any of these players are at this rate. I genuinely don't even know what they're worth. I just have no words for them anymore. Dark Sun, but big yourself up, Joe. Really appreciate all the support that you've given as well, Joe. So big yourself up, and hopefully you can find something to maybe, calm the spirits at least a little bit. Dark Sun G saying, I love how Skip is vital as soon as he returned from loan. How can Skip and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg be our best center defensive mids in a shorter period than Dele and Easy Pass? Efforts fight. I don't even know. That's just pure. Again, Dark Sun G is just mic dropping everywhere, Dave. He's just mic dropping everywhere. It really is. How can Skippy be such a vital person in the squad this quickly? Genuinely, how can he be?
He gets it, Jack. He gets it. He has the mentality. Winks has unfortunately knows he's been able to stay at Tottenham without having to improve, without having to do anything different because of the homegrown quota. We have allowed Harry Winks to become stale, stagnant, no desire to improve. Now, I know some people might be looking on the outside and say, oh, that's harsh. Surely he does have desire to improve. Well, then I say, well, where is it on the pitch? Do you see anything? Usually when players have a desire to improve and they're training week in, week out, and they're trying to do better, you see it on the pitch.
They fail every seeing eye test.
Different. In fact, it's getting worse every time the guy plays. It comes down to passion, pride in your job, pride in yourself, love for the fans, love for the club. It comes down to all that. You can't tell me most of them players out there or some of them players out there care today. Because if they cared, they would have done the basics, which is closing down, doing the running about that they're supposed to be doing, which makes your game a bit easier. Didn't do it. And Dark Sun G as well, he says, why does Easy Pass keep on shooting? He can't shoot for his life. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has a better shot to goal ratio in 2 games than Easy Pass. 2 shots in 2 days in the game. What would you say to that, Josh?
Exactly that. I can't. Dele Alli's past it, mate. He doesn't want to be on the pitch. He didn't show any compassion. He didn't show any drive, any commitment to actually win that match. He was just there for the paycheck. I bet he's calling Daniel Levy up, but that'll be 150 grand, please, mate. We don't need players like this. We don't need players like this. It's shock. He was shocking from the get go. He was just so absent the whole time, and every touch that he made, he was just we were losing it a couple of seconds later. We don't need players like this.
Yeah.
What do you think about Harry Winks, though, maybe shooting it all the time? I mean, that's what he's saying is Harry Winks is trying to take cracks from distance, and, he should never be doing that.
No, he shouldn't be. He's not a striker. He's a centre defensive well, he's supposed to be a centre defensive mid, and he's not.
He's not, but then the thing is, people say, we're not playing him his best position, but you can put him in cam. He doesn't play forward, so he's not good. It doesn't matter where you play. The thing is, he's just not good enough to be here anymore.
You cannot polish a turd. You cannot polish a turd.
I couldn't agree more with that.
Big up Dark Sun G, though. Great stat as well.
Yeah. Alex Davies, are you watching now? Alex Davies? Tell me that he's a good player. Tell me he deserves to be in that squad.
No, look, it's not Alex's fault. Winks play crap.
No, Winks plays crap every week, and Alex is singing praises.
Just quickly, there's 264 people watching right now. If you could so kindly, everybody smash that like button. If you are new, smash that subscribe button. And look, the chat is flying. I am absolutely, trying my best to get through the chat. It is getting hard, but if you want to skip to the very top, guys, get your super chat in. I know not everybody is in a position to do it. I will do my best to keep getting everybody's comment up on screen. Ronan Kiley, one of my mates from school. If you're still over in Spain, man, I hope you're enjoying yourself. He is a gooner. He says, come and support a real London team, Davy. No, look, never. Ronan, Kylie, you know my support for Tottenham, man. You know I'll never waver. Even if we're down in Championship or wherever, I will always support the Yids. You know that, my man.
We're still at least a real North London club. I mean, you're not even a North London club at the end of the day. So there you are. But big yourself up. Thanks for tuning in. Big yourself up, or thanks for tuning in. Dark Sun G in here saying, Alex, please wake up. If you still like those two, watch a boring soap opera instead. That is the equivalent of watching Easy Pass and Catastrophe in a Spurs shirt. Dark Sun G, I think you're being a bit too kind here, because people have related it to, having a prostate exam. That was more exciting for them. They'd rather watch a camera, maybe in the wrong place of their body. They'd rather watch a video or a movie from there at this rate. Dark Sun G, I'd probably watch an entire marathon of soap operas instead of this. I'd probably watch maybe 40 rom-coms tonight, instead of this one.
Well,
honestly, Dark Sun G, being too kind.
At the Coronation Street, I'm the bus to catch up with. That's what I'll be catching up with. I won't be doing anything Tottenham related after this tonight. I'm absolutely pissed off, man. I'm absolutely fuming. This should not
go watch Hollyoaks.
A lot of these players need to wake up. But big up, Dark Sun G. Look, Alex, he does need to wake up. I'm sure he will. Yeah, it is. It is about soap operas. Like I said, Dark Sun G, check out a bit of Coronation Street, man. More drama in that, my man. But big yourself up. Really appreciate the support, brother. Joe Grimes, my man. He says, Lo Celso's the Argentinian Winks. Yeah, it's starting to look like that, Joe. It is starting to look like that. Absolutely shambolic. Good comparison, to be fair, my man. Yep. Look, Lo Celso is another one. Honestly, I cannot get the image of him running the ball out against Leeds United out of my head. It's like I thought I was watching, rugby for a minute. I was like, no, rugby's a sport. You're supposed to keep the ball into touch, not football. What's Lo Celso doing? And then you have that other idiot in beside him, Harry Winks. Doesn't make it any better. Joe, my man, honestly, get your head back into the books, keep studying and get them exams out of the way. This is not worth it, my man. Jerome with the super chat says, this shows again why we need to clear out in January. Winks, Dele, Davies out of the door. Nuno is to blame for this weak lineup. Learn nothing since Pachos. Jerome, just quickly, all I'm going to say, and then I'm going to get Jack's thoughts on it, is, look, we can't go down the same route of overusing Højbjerg, Skip, McCain, and the Son. You have to prioritize. These are the games that you should be able to send these players out and get the results no matter what. It's good enough. I've watched Tottenham teams growing up in the UEFA Cup with Harry Kane, who was nowhere near the first team at that point. Getting a chance, taking it, playing well. Conor Ogliv is another one, if anyone ever remembers him. I remember watching him play, still going out there, getting the job done, getting the results done, and handsomely, may I add. This is just not good enough. And you have to solely blame the players, the blame at Winks, at Dele Alli, at Davies, at these players. They let us down every time. But Jack, what's your thoughts to Jerome here?
Jerome, I just want to big you up, because I do really appreciate all the support that you do give this channel. I really do appreciate it. But Jerome, I wish this were under better circumstances that I was saying that to you. I just have to disagree with this when it comes to maybe Nuno out and, maybe pressure on Nuno, because again, we have to prioritize competitions. As much as I want to win this competition, we need to rely on our squad in order to win these sort of competitions. This isn't even the knockout rounds. This is the group stages. Let's get this right. This is the group stages. This isn't even the knockout rounds. So we have to realize that that's when you rely on your squad. That's when you rely on the players who haven't been playing for weeks, have not been playing for weeks, in the likes of Dele Alli, Ben Davies, Harry Winks, and whatnot. These guys have not been playing for weeks, and yet they are not ready for this match. It just speaks to so much about these players. It genuinely does. And I don't think at all that's on Nuno. I generally don't think it really took very much tactics in order to win a match like this. We are still playing in the 4-2-3-1, like David brought up even earlier as well. And again, we were playing Dele Alli supposedly in his best position, and he was all set up to have a good game. Steven Bergwijn was set up to have a good game. There are a lot of players that were set up to prove us wrong and set up to prove something for this. And yet they did the exact opposite. So I would just say, again, you're absolutely right. It shows that we need a huge clear out in January. I would even add more players on the list. And I even said as well in the beginning of this, Jerome, the list actually gets longer the shit list, or the trash list, or whatever, the dump list. Honestly, dead weight or deadwood is not a nice. It's honestly too kind of a word for them. It's too kind of a word. They're actually worse than deadwood, David. They're worse than that, and that's what I would argue. And it's only getting longer. That list is becoming even longer than that. But Jerome, I want to big yourself up, because I really do appreciate you tuning in. I really appreciate the support as always. I wish you were under better circumstances, but I don't think any of this falls on Nuno. I genuinely don't think it does, because these are supposed to be players that they're being paid enough for them to perform like this, and for them to put in better performances. Genuinely, if they're being anywhere paid close to 100,000 a week, I mean, how on earth can they not perform in this kind of situation? Then they just need to be just excommunicated right away.
I couldn't agree more. Just quickly, guys, 290 in the house. Make sure everyone is absolutely smashing that like button. Look, if you want to make my day, the players didn't do, but if you want to make my day, we are a couple off getting to 4.4K. So if there's about 6 people out there who hasn't subscribed, just smash that subscribe button. Kuva99 says, play the youth and give them the experience, win or lose. Continuing to pick these absolute cretins is a waste of time for everyone at the club. It is. It's a waste of time. It is a massive waste of time. I think 3 or 4 of them players, the senior players out there today, should be made stand up, apologise to the Craig twins, apologise to White, apologise to Niall John. Should be made apologise to them. Sorry, guys, we're shit. We didn't get the job done, which meant you would have got some game time today. And I'm so sorry. The same actually happened to you guys last season as well. I'm really sorry. This is going on too long now. That's what they should be made do. At the end of the day, no professional football or senior football wants to stand up there and do that to the kids. But you're going to have to do something to wake these clowns up. I'm sick of these results happening. You wonder why we don't win any trophies at Tottenham. It's because we can't get by the early rounds, because these players who are supposed to get the job done won't do their work. But big up Kuva, my man. I couldn't agree more. A waste of time. It's not good for anybody at the club. It's not good for the fans. It's not good for management. It's not good for coaching staff, because they're it's a waste of their time. It's not good for anybody whatsoever. Jason Whale with the super chat. My man, Jason, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you. I'm going to give this one to Josh. He says, Josh, it's so depressing following Spurs these days. Nuno was never the answer. Takes a world-class manager to get a tune out of this shower of poo.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Nuno is the answer to what we need. But as for right now, who else have we got to replace him? There's not a single manager on the market that wants to come to Spurs, or a manager that we're going to happily bend over backwards for to accommodate. We had the opportunity to sign to get Conte at the wheel, and we fucked that up because Levy won't give him what he wants.
These are the players that Conte would have had to work with, so he just said no.
No, I agree, but I reckon he could have got a lot. I reckon Conte could have got a lot more out of these players. To be honest, I agree. It's all about the manager's effect. I do not think Conte would play the formation that we are. We're playing this boring style of football where we're playing short balls all the time and not pushing forward. We're playing a possession game where we really need to be playing an attacking game. Conte would have been the answer for that, but Nuno was our 9th choice for a reason, because he wasn't suited to be our manager. He was never suited.
This is where I don't want the wool being pulled over people's eyes. You can't deny Pochettino was world class. You can't deny
exactly. No, he was.
Manager. They both had this shower of poo. They couldn't get a tune out of them. Look, Jason, my opinion is we've had 2 world-class managers. They're getting the same results out of these guys. It's not down to the management or how world-class they are. It's down to these individuals. Pochettino and Jose Mourinho are both world-class managers. They had these guys under their helm. We can't forget that. And that's where I come to the conclusion. It's not Nuno. It is these players. They've had world-class managers, and they still can't do any better with them. It comes a point where I have to blame the players. Chris Peters, it's good to see you, my man. Big yourself up. Crocodiles with the super chat. Jack, he says, Davies just spoke to BT Sport. For the sake of your blood pressure, don't watch it. Please tell me what he said. I actually do want to know. Please actually do tell
David,
me what
David, I know the blood pressure tablets, they get reimbursed next week, though, Dave. I would say don't listen to it. Might as well, because, I know the blood pressure tablets, they come on Mondays, Dave. They come on Mondays, so I would say you probably shouldn't, Dave. You probably shouldn't. I know it, David. This is not good for our health if we watch that right now. It wouldn't be good for our health.
Even I don't want to watch it.
Are you going to watch it, Josh?
Well, I don't want to, but I think as a Spurs fan, for science reasons, I think I might have to. If I'm not here tomorrow, I'm in the hospital after a cardiac arrest. You know why?
No, look, I'm the same, my man. I feel the same. Look, I actually do want to go and watch it. I want to hear what he said, because if he's not holding himself accountable and the other senior players, well, then he's a massive part of the problem and he's delusional. The Portugueser, it's good to see you in as well. Dark Sun G says, next conference game, please start McCandy, White and Amole. I couldn't agree more now, Dark Sun G. I've had enough. Get them out, get them ready and get them on the pitch. That's what I'm saying, to be honest with you. I've had enough of Harry Stinks. I've had enough of Dele Marley. You know, he'd rather change his hair than actually change the way he plays football. I've had a complete enough of Mr. Anonymous at left back there, Mr. Davies. Had complete enough of them. I've had enough of Sanchez. He turns and moves like a fucking fridge. I've had enough of him. I don't want him being given any more chances. I've had enough of Galini. Honestly, he may as well call him Ray Charles. He cannot see anything coming at his goal. How many games have we seen him play now? He's conceded from shots outside the box. Absolutely had enough of him. Look, I just feel sorry. Stephen Bergwijn, another one, supposed to be this guy. You know, we haven't seen the best of him yet, given it the big one in the press conference. You know, how can you have the audacity to come out in a press conference before the game and front it up and say, you guys have not seen the best of me, and then comes out and puts that shit into there?
This is the kind of game he should have shone in. He come from the Eredivisie. He knows what that style of football's about. How can you give that shower of shit as a performance and then say you haven't seen the best of me? Fuck off, Stephen. Prick.
Big up Dark Sun G. I couldn't agree more, man. They have to start being played. They have to start playing them now. Next game, I don't care. I'd rather lose. I'd rather actually get knocked out of the group stage than persist with Weeks and Davies and everything else. I'd rather give these young lads a chance. At least they're going to die trying, for God's sake. Vam Shitty, another one. It's good to see you in, my man. Where have you been? I hope things are well, brother. Says, hi guys, how you doing? Been a long time. Time to sell Winks and Dele and Nuno. Has to include 2 or 3 players first team for this match. Nuno, what have you done? Look, I've already had my say on it. I think Jack's already has his say on it. So Josh, what's your interpretation on this?
What's Nuno done? What's Nuno done? Not a great deal. It's only like what we
should he have included a few first team players? But which first team players would those have been?
I reckon he probably would have been better off keeping the Celso off and putting the Dombele in. To be in my honest opinion, that would have been and putting Mora. He should have played Mora. Mora's not going to get played against West Ham, is he? Let's be honest.
He will
start
against West Ham.
I think he'll be starting.
Who will start ahead of him? You wouldn't put Bergwijn in there.
No. Right, sorry, ignore that. I'm on a. My brain's a little bit fried as to how the
blood
fuck
pressure tablets again. They need to be renewed, but they're only coming next week. Everybody.
I think I need my brain checked. To be honest with you, like how can we sit there and struggle against the team that is 6th in the Eredivisie in a league that is dominated by 2 teams every year, and we're struggling against them? If they come to England, they're championship level at most, and we're struggling against the likes of them. It's not on. It is not on. If we want to actually contend for trophies, we need to invest a lot of money. We need to ship the dead weight off. Dele Alli can fuck off. Ben Davies can fuck off. Harry Winks can fuck off. That is literally all I'm going to say. Nuno hasn't done anything so far. He's probably got the fitness back on. He's starting to get the fitness back on track, and we've seen that. That's obvious. But other than that, he hasn't really done much. It's still the same Spurs that we had last season. Yeah. A lot of shit needs to change. It all needs to change.
For me, I just think as a fan base, we all need to wake up. You can't keep blaming the managers. You don't want to go down the route of Arsenal Football Club and then be stuck with someone like Arteta. You do not want to do it. Trust me, if Nuno goes, it's going to be worse again. It will be someone like Arteta, and you're going to be in a position where you're going to back the manager because you realise too late it's not the players. We need to wake up now as a fan base. Start laying the blame at some of these players' doors. I'm going to keep saying it. Keith Browning says all these teams qualified for the competition deserves respect. Look, no one's disrespecting them, but at the end of the day, as Tottenham Hotspur, we should be able to put our B team and beat them. We should.
Just look at the wage bill difference. Look at the wage bill difference between those two, between our 2 squads. Again, just speaks to some of these players. It genuinely does. Like, how is Dele Alli, being paid whatever $200,000 a week to put in a performance? Oh my God,
as if he said
genuinely, actually, like, you can't be telling me that as much as these teams do deserve to be in this competition, as much as we do, just speaks to our squad depth. The fact that they can't defeat a team like this. But big up, Fam Chitty. Big yourself up, Fam Chitty. Big yourself up.
If what Chris has just said in the chat is exactly what Davies has said, I swear to God, I'm going to lose my rag.
keep your eye on that. We will get that to 1 second. Just keep your eye on that, Chris.
Yeah.
Or Josh, sorry. But Philip Brady says West Ham playing an almost full team tonight may be good for us, but Nuno's inability to learn from Pachos is so frustrating. Tonight was avoidable. Look, first of all, I'm delighted to hear the spanners and the spammers and the scanners, Barney the dinosaurs, that they have all actually played the full team tonight. I'm really happy with that, I have to say. Hopefully they are tired come Sunday. Look, Philip, I get what you're saying. Look,
Europa League's a bit different.
One thing I would say about is maybe he could have brought them on the bench, but how many times last season did we say we don't want to see Kane and Son playing these games? How many times do we all say it? This is for these players. It's just frustrating, Philip. It's just frustrating. Look, yeah, we could have brought some first-team players on the bench tonight. We shouldn't have to, though. This is where I'm coming from. We shouldn't have to. I grew up watching our team and playing UEFA Cup, not having to bring any first-team players with them, giving them a complete rest and bring in youngsters. I've seen us do it and I've seen us win games. We should be winning tonight. We had more than enough players on the pitch. A lot of these guys are full internationals playing for some of the best international teams around the world. It's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. We have to lay the blame at the players' doors. But I do agree with you that maybe, yeah, he could have brought some maybe first-team players on the bench, Philip. But big up, my man. I really appreciate the support, my man. And I hope you're well. I hope you're not too down after that, man. I hope you're not too down, Philip. I know Philip, he probably is. But big up, Philip. What an absolute channel legend. Dark Zone G says Catastrophe should never wear the captain's armband. No, it should never have been given to him. Give it to someone like Tanganga, someone who actually cares. Why are you going to give it to a guy that he plays in all these results where they shouldn't be happening? Stop giving it. That's one thing I do blame Nuno for. That is a stupid call. That is a stupid call. Give it to a Tanganga. Give it to someone who cares. Don't give it to a guy that played against Colchester, played against Antwerp, that played against Palace, that played against Pachos. Stop giving it to a guy that plays in these games where we keep getting bet. Give it to a Tanganga. Get a better mentality out there. Tanganga would have absolutely rollicked him. He probably would have thrived off the armband today. I couldn't agree more with you, Dark Sun G. Big yourself up, my man.
And Dark Sun G, I said I apologized to you in advance because I had a feeling it would happen as well, and I had to apologize to you in advance. But hopefully, you were able to eat before this. That's all I'll tell you, Dark Sun G. Because honestly, it's sick to my stomach seeing him even wear it at all. It's sickening, absolutely sickening. But big yourself up, Dark Sun G.
Spurs 72 says yes, I agree with Kuva 99. We must play the youth. We must drop the garbage and sell Winks, Deli, Davies, Sanchez, and Roden and Gio, etc. Look, definitely the first three names 100% gone. The first four names actually 100% gone. Sanchez has just not turned into the player that we thought he would turn into. He just hasn't. So the first four names gone. Roden, I'd probably give a little bit longer. Gio, I'd probably give him to the end of the season, to be honest with you. If you don't see any improvement, then get him gone. But I couldn't agree more with you there, Spurs 72. Jack, do you agree with Spurs 72?
I couldn't agree more. I think Winks has to go immediately. Deli has to go immediately. Davies has to go immediately. We all know that. Sanchez, I would argue, is actually better than Roden. And I think that's what's actually scary as well. As we were saying, the 4Rs might be the new back four. I genuinely can't say that anymore, with confidence, because I thought Joe Roden was that atrocious, especially maybe with the fee that we brought him in for. Makes me think that the guy actually can't maybe step up to this level. He just had a great championship season, and then he's not, maybe his ceiling certainly is just that. Sanchez as well, though, by no means am I defending him. I just actually think that, Sanchez still had a better game than Joe Roden. Gio, I would give him till the end of the season as well, but he's on thin ice. Bergwijn is till the end of the season as well. He's on thinner than thin ice.
Yeah.
Then probably the rest of them are all new signings, though, Dave, or youth academy products like Tanganga and Hill and things like that. And I'd be happy to give them time. And Dane Scarlett, I'd be happy to give them time. But they're not the usual suspects. These players that are mentioned down below, though, are the usual suspects. So big yourself up, Spurs 72. I couldn't agree more. That would be my order of prioritizing how to sell them.
Big up, Spurs 72. I really appreciate the support, my man. Really appreciate it. Crocodoc says, basically, Davies was saying that football's tough atmosphere. When asked about trying to get in the starting 11, he said it's a squad game. Wow.
He's actually turned around and said, tough to get going, pitch didn't help, tough atmosphere, didn't get the decisions. He has blamed everything apart from COVID for the loss today. And instead of coming out and saying we were outplayed, he's had to blame the fucking pitch.
the pitch, the referee,
Oh my
crowd,
God.
the crowd, the pitch, the referee, everybody but himself and his usual culprits. Because
Okay,
why?
so what was his excuse for just standing around? What was his excuse for just standing around doing nothing? Looking like a third wheel?
It's not even like the guy has a good touch or anything. It's not like he's played on world-class pitches. He doesn't even have a good touch on a world-class pitch, let alone then, like, what does he even expect?
Didn't he play against Marine? Didn't he play against Marine?
Yes.
That's an AstroTurf pitch. Come on. How can you blame the pitch? Oh my God. He said, yeah.
But again, this is the part of the problem. Like, these guys can't even take responsibility for it. They cannot take responsibility for it. Again, Nuno's going to have to come out front, take a bullet for them. But, like, you know, he had an opportunity there to simply step up and say, look, I was captain today. It's not a good enough performance. I'm putting out an apology for them away fans that have travelled today. I'm putting out an apology for every fan across the world who was tuned in today, whether they've been working and risking their job, whether it's 3 a.m. in the morning where they are, or whether it's dinner time. I'm sorry to all you guys. Look, we simply didn't step up today and we weren't good enough. Come out and say it as it is. Stop hiding behind the pitch, the referee, the crowd was too loud, creating an intimidating atmosphere. Fuck off. You know, I'm absolutely fed up with it. Start taking responsibility. And until they can take accountability and responsibility, right, they're never going to improve because they don't see the need to improve when you're blaming the pitch. There wasn't enough air in the ball. You know, there was too many raindrops coming out of the clouds. I've had a fucking enough of it. That is absolutely a joke. Come out and take accountability, responsibility. You all hid behind the other two managers when they got sacked, and by the looks of it, they're willing to do it again. They are willing to go and do it again by the looks of it, rather than stepping up and taking responsibility. Crocodiles, you're right. I shouldn't have wanted to hear it. I shouldn't have.
This is why Ben Davies, though, has actually been above. This is why Ben Davies has been number one for me. He's been tied with Harry Winks, but this is kind of why I want him out even more to a degree, just because I genuinely the guy is more useless than I could even imagine. He's actually useless is too much of a kind word to him. And at this rate, David, he's just the fact that he's even wearing the captain's armband as well. David, and there's no more. There's actually no more. There's no more. Ben Davies for me is actually number one. Harry Winks is just right. If I had to go, I would go Harry Winks first. Or go Ben Davies first, Harry Winks second, but they're just so high up the list. Again, I wouldn't, David, they have to swim home. I'm not even letting them take the rowboat home. I'm not even letting them take the rowboat.
He's blamed the pitch, right? There are players across this world who play on the most ridiculous of pitches and put in better performances than what they have done tonight. Fuck's sake, man. I grew up on a pitch where it was waterlogged. There was bog holes in it. There was a slope on it. Then our second pitch, we had to go and pick sheep shite up off it. You know, I've been to pitches where it's playing on a hill like that. You know, there's places where they don't even have grass on their pitch somewhere. And this guy's blaming a football pitch. My God, how do you make your way into the game? Because you play on these shit pitches, you get better, you learn to get your touch better, you learn how to be able to get the perfect weight on the pass by playing on these pitches, which gets you into academies. You know, for this guy to blame a pitch, the guy is from Wales. He is from Wales, and he's blaming a football pitch. You're telling me every football pitch he played on growing up is pristine? Give me a fucking break. The football pitch, the pitch was oh my Lord. I've heard it all now. Tottenham Tantrum with the super chat says, first, thank you for this watch along. There are the players who sacked Poch, Jose, and probably Nuno in the end. This is an embarrassment. We all need to wake up. Jack, what would you say?
Yeah, and again, it just speaks to maybe very much the hymn sheet of this channel, very much the hymn sheet of David especially, which is these players have all gotten they've got Jose sacked, they got Poch sacked, especially in the case of Poch, someone who made all these players actually look good, and then they turned around and thought that they were good enough to be able to sack him. They again were somehow poorly treated by Jose after that. See how that went. They got then him sacked, and now they're about to get Nuno sacked because again, you know, people are all kind of, you know, blaming this on Nuno when it just is the usual suspects every time, Dave. That's all it is. I genuinely think we need to start a series on it. It's going to be called The Usual Suspects, the one that always seem to be able to turn this club into absolute mush, turn any of these results into just the most embarrassing results probably of our club's history. I'm pretty sure even before this, Dave, there's something about we've never lost to, an Eredivisie team in some like regard since like 1961 or like something like that. So it just, again, Dave, I genuinely don't like, there's no words to describe these players. They're actually breaking the worst kind of records as well. The worst kind of records.
No, they are. It's an absolute joke. But big up, Dermot, my man.
Thank you for tuning in.
Appreciate the support, brother. I really appreciate it. Tottenham, he also says, Deli, Winks, Davies and co sack them tonight now. Yeah, just do what they've done with Aurier. Strip up the contract. Off you go. You know what I mean? I've had enough. I'm not sitting here, begging them and pleading them. Like, people wanted Jose out because it was the big bad mean Jose. He won't tell them what they want to hear. And when you do it, they still don't see anything else. When you have Nuno in there, who will be a good man manager to them, you still don't get anything out of them. The nuts and bolts of it is their crap. No matter what way you approach the angle, whether you approach it from a love angle or whether you approach it from that harsh, angle, whether no matter what way you do it, you're not getting anything different out of them. The problem is the players now. It's not the managers. It's not anything else. The problem is some of these players, they just do not have it up here. And when you don't have it up here, you don't have it down there. It's that simple. You do not have it down there. It is that simple. It's an absolute farce tonight. An absolute farce. Who else have we got in here? This is the one. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Dark Sun G saying, Partici, please bring in a left back in the first thing in the January transfer window. I couldn't agree more, Dark Sun G. And again, it's going to also have to be someone that can actually step up in these occasions, can actually step up to his marker, Dave, actually, put on some pressure on a player. I mean, the amount of long shots that Ben Davies allowed, I don't even know what he was marking at times when he let that guy, I think his name was Dasa, I believe, take those shots from range. Genuinely don't really understand what he's doing because he already gets a nosebleed when he gets past the halfway line, Dave. So why does he have such a problem then defending? He genuinely, for me, is the worst of them all. I genuinely do think he is the worst of them all, especially now that he's wearing the captain's armband. And also maybe the comments tonight, he's number one on my list. And, some people have a lot of big lists. This would be mine. My list is with these players. I genuinely think Ben Davies is no more. Dark Sun G is the guy I would take in practically any other left back at this rate, really, because I don't see how you could do any worse.
100%. The Outlad says 5 midfield players required at Tottenham immediately. And the striker, get on it, Levy. You prick. Big up the Outlet. Big yourself up. Look, I know you're angry, that's for sure. You probably ended up throwing your snack box across the kitchen, I'd say, my man, watching that. But big up the Outlet. Awesome Moss says, tell me why should this player care when the owner don't? Players already know this. Look, Newcastle are working hard to invest hard. No, look, I agree. At the end of the day, look, we know the problem with our owners, but like the thing is, Daniel Levy wasn't out there kicking a football today. Look, I know the problem is the owners, and I know the problem is that he has allowed these to stay here too long. Yes, that's all out of him. But look, for this 90 minutes, I'm commenting on what they produced out there. That's what we're talking about. The players were the ones out there kicking the ball. Yep. At the end of the day, yes, everything does go back to Daniel Levy. But the thing is, even if the owner doesn't care, they should still care. Harry Kane still cares. He has more excuse not to care than any of them. He still cares. Why can't these players? Why can't these players?
Awesome. It's the same thing. I echo the same thing as David. We all know that it can be easily fixed by just getting rid of the man upstairs, but that's not so easy, as we probably are well aware of. We can continue to make our protests, continue to make our voices heard when it comes to him, that he is the one at fault who has brought in these players. He is the one at fault who has renewed the contract of these players. He is the one that brought in Steve Hitchen, who renewed those contracts and brought in those players as well. And also fired Paul Mitchell, who, of course, is one of the best scouting football directors out there that he also got rid of. But if we were to just look at what happened today, if we're going to take these game at a time, it's simply not Daniel Levy, like David said, kicking the football. It's these players kicking the football and causing us brain aneurysms and making us realize that, genuinely they are actually poisoning this club. I know Daniel Levy is the main poison of this club. I absolutely recognize that, but we are just looking at this game. And this is, the players that are out on the pitch. And again, if he's able to put out an 11 like this, and we all thought it should be good enough, it's just proven today that it wasn't. So there you are, everybody. Absolutely, There you are.
But look, Osmo, I do get what you're saying. Like, we do get what you're saying 100%. Ultimately, when you go back to why are they still here and everything, yes, it does go up to Daniel Levy.
If you follow the chain,
But 90 minutes, this falls on the players. There was no pride, no passion. Even if the owner doesn't care, why shouldn't they care? How are we supposed to be a Tottenham fan? He's supposed to love and care about the club. So I'm not taking that as an excuse for someone like him. I'm just not doing it. William Kelly says, boys, told you we wouldn't beat Vitesse. Just not rely on certain players. They are a disgrace. Get the checkbook out now for January. Transfers badly. Yeah, look, and especially with the fixture schedule we have coming up from the 2nd to the 19th, which is 17 days, we have 7 games. So even if the first team can get the job done in January or in December, they're going to need bodies in here in January. Look, we touched on it last night here on the show here last night. The Kaniki Answer Me with Josh and Darius and Jack. We had a good discussion on players and what players we thought should have come in and everything else. So do go and check that out, anyone that hasn't. But look, we're in bad need of we need a quality striker. I don't want any of this Vinicius on loan. He's gone to PSV. He's barely played. He barely gets a game. He's not the answer. I don't want a body just for the sake of having a body, because that's also adding to the problems. I want a quality striker. If that's not available, you can rotate Kane and Son up front until the end of the season and then go and get the quality striker we need. I want a midfielder in the door. I want a deep-lying midfielder, but I want it in a different role. I want it in the role of a Bruno Guimaraes, of a Sandro Tonali, someone who can get a grip on the ball back in that deeper role, who has the ability to be able to play a ball over the top for a Kane, for a Son. You know, I want a player like that. And I think we need another winger in the squad. I really do. I believe we need another winger in. I think that'll get us through. Look, this season, the thing is, we're never, ever going to get everything done in one window. This season was all about trying to patch it up and get you through, or not patch it up, but get what you can in the summer and, you know, do patchwork in January, get yourself through to the end of the season. And then next season, I fully expect this board to get this sorted out, with Paratici, because we should be able to get rid of the 3 or 4 players that are left that need to go. And then we should be able to get more players in. And then hopefully these results stop happening. I think that's the way forward. But wait and see. But all the while, you still have to keep putting the pressure on Enoch and Levy. You can't keep forgetting about that. You have to keep putting the pressure on as well. But look, let's see what happens. William Kelly. Big yourself up, my man. I really do appreciate the support.
It is important also as well, William Kelly, like you maybe even saw last night. It's important to know, you know, to have suggestions about which players we should actually go for, because that's how I believe it. You know, we can't say, oh, we need just this position filled and we need a quality player in this position. We actually need to be specific. We actually need to know what we're actually looking for. Like David said, you know, we can't just sign someone like Vinicius, who's not even rated by his own club, Benfica. Benfica replaced him. That says a whole lot about him. PSV, again, you know, is a team that doesn't even rate him as well. So we can't just be, in my opinion, you know, kind of not working very hard in that degree. You know, just we have to think smarter, not harder about it as well, because we all know about the guy upstairs, William Kelly. We know that guy's not going to open up the checkbook. So we have to come up with solutions that, you know, we to a degree ourselves, David, especially as presenters here, and as YouTubers here, we have to be able to come up with actual real names on paper that can actually to a degree help this club, because I think it's so easy just to say, just bring in X player, because that's just not, you know, it's just not a realistic answer. So William Kelly, I couldn't agree more with you. Really couldn't agree more with you. And also, well said, brother. And also, thank you for tuning in.
Big yourself up. Look, closing thoughts, I suppose. We'll get everybody's closing thoughts, and then, you know, I think we'll finish it there. Guys, before we do get everyone's closing thoughts, make sure you do smash that like button. Make sure you do smash that subscribe button. And if you have enjoyed today's show, you know, why not send in a super chat to show your appreciation and your support for the channel? Don't worry. I know not everybody can. You don't have to if you don't want to. Do not feel pressured. But if you do, feel free to do it. But look, Josh, what's your closing thoughts, my man, and where can people find you?
Sorry, I realised I was muted. Right, so my closing thoughts. We just weren't good enough today. We need to do a lot of re-evaluating. Not a lot of players. The majority of the players on the pitch didn't want it. If I have to choose a man of the match from us for their performance, it has to go. I think it goes without saying, Jeffrey Tanganga was the only one really that wanted it. I mean, him and Gill, I would have said, like, no one else really wanted it on the pitch. That we just looked like a bunch of men kicking the ball around for 90 minutes. There was no passion, no drive, no composure, no shape, nothing. Tanganga got stuck in. Did what Tanganga does best. He was an absolute. It just be the beast on the pitch. So that's that's where I am with how that game goes. You can follow me on Twitter. My name is Josh at Josh RG in HD on Twitter. You can also go and follow me on YouTube as well, Josh the Tottenham Guy, where I release videos. I've just started a new series called Player Profiles, with the first episode being about Harry Kane, which is already out now. A new episode coming out about Lewis Holtby in the next couple of days. So yeah, go and drop me a follow. That's where you can find me.
Big up, everybody. Do get over there and check him out. Big up, Tommy G. It's good to see you in, my man. It's good to see you in. Jack, what's your closing thoughts and where can people find you?
Closing thoughts, Dave, is that I genuinely thought that these players could be able to prove something where they could prove me wrong. They even maybe being selected as second tier, for this kind of competition, they could have realized that this is the opportunity to prove Nuno wrong. They didn't, as well as also the opportunity to even prove some of the fans wrong about maybe some of their reputations. They didn't. Then moving on, you kind of think about it as well. Some of these players, again, are paid ridiculous amounts of money to not even be good enough for practically any match whatsoever, whether it be an FA Cup, a Carabao, a Europa Conference League, for fuck's sake. Sincerely, I genuinely think that the dead list, or the Deadwood list, Dave, is just more than 8-9 players long. It sincerely is. And that's what we're also realizing. What else is there to say? There are so many players that had something to prove tonight. There are so many players that had something to be able to, show that they are good enough to play in this type of competition. They're good enough to get the win no matter what the circumstances are. And yet they're blaming it on the pitch. They're blaming it on a tough crowd. They're blaming it on basically anything else but themselves. I mean, there's a lot of takeaways, but I would just say this was supposed to be a good enough squad. I looked at that squad on paper. I genuinely thought it was good enough. And that's maybe just my own delusion, but now it's just confirming it for me, David, just absolutely confirming it for me that there are so many players on that pitch today that we all know are the usual suspects and are never good enough to ever wear the shirt again, let alone even put in a decent performance. And also people can find me, like we've been talking about, getting out the Deadwood. We've been talking about, putting in, the money in the transfer window to be able to fix some of these Deadwood players, to fix some of the holes in the squad. There's no better place to go than Dave and I's second channel, because I would say this is something that we do pride ourselves on over here, is being able to actually have names on paper, actual strikers, actual wingers, actual center defensive mids, actual left backs that can actually put in the work that we're all asking for. We can all say we need a new, X position. We need a new player to fill in this role, but we should be specific, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with the hardest, the stingiest, guy upstairs in all of world football when we think about it, especially for top clubs. So we have to actually be specific about what players we want to bring into this side, what players we need to replace the Deadwood. So I would say, if you want to know and actually get answers for what players we can actually bring in to fix this squad, check out flatcapeurotalk, but also please check out Josh's channel as well. Really did fantastic. And he's also even doing a few reports as well on where some of these Deadwood players that have left us a long time ago, like, where are they now?
Indeed, so.
100%.
Yeah, a lot of people go and follow it. That's where we are.
That's it. The Lad says, I didn't realize that Davies was such a bitch. Yeah, I'm the same.
He's been a bitch for a long time.
I'm fed up with it. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Kevin. We do need to add him. Awesome R says, see how Benfica plays. Oh my God, we'll lose to them 7-0. Yeah,
we'd lose 7-0 to AFC Rochdale the way we play tonight.
If we play these bunch of losers, we will. That's for sure. Awesome.
Their manager is also fantastic. Their manager is fantastic. I think Jorge Santos or something like that. He looks like the guy from Back to the Future, the movie. And I would say, most of that squad is fantastic as well. Benfica, Darwin Nunez, again, another reason to check out that second channel of ours. Darwin Nunez would definitely be somebody I would go after as that backup striker. The man looks absolutely lethal and is a very hardworking player as well. So he would probably be fine with coming off the bench because he works extremely hard. But there you are. I mean, I couldn't agree more, Osama. I actually couldn't agree more. I can tell you watch your football if you know how good Benfica are this year.
Big yourself up. Well, look, guys, we are going to end off there. Look, my closing thoughts are can't keep blaming the manager when these same players are performing. You got to put the blame on the player's door. I don't think anybody should be blaming Dame Scarlett for tonight or even singling them out. Look, I think a lot more people need to wake up with the whole Levy and the Enoch thing. I think there needs to be more pressure applied. You look at the turnout of the protests; they're not great. Maybe we need to do something more there. look, and at the end of the day, we also have to remember you can't taint any of the first team players with this brush. This is purely on this second team lot. Purely, look, me more personally on some of the same players that you keep seeing these results happen. And that's it. Look, hopefully everyone can join us back here for tomorrow with Stats with Jack. Hopefully you can all join us back here Saturday for a pre-match build-up and back here again then Sunday for the watch-along versus the Hammers. It'd be nice to see so many faces in, so many old faces in today that we haven't seen in a while. So big yourselves up. It is great to see a lot of you back. Look, unfortunately, the result didn't go our way today. You know, it's absolutely shambolic. It should never have happened. But look, as always, we keep motoring on to the next game. And hopefully, you know, Harry Kane's on Højbjerg, Skip and Co. can put this right at the weekend. William Kelly says, see how much the dead would drain my heart bleeds for you. Yeah, they just drain. They kill us. They kill every single one of us. Look, it's not me. It's not just Jack. It's not we at Tottenham TV or you know, any of the other YouTubers. It's you know, you shouldn't be. It's all the fans worldwide. They just drain every single one of us. You know, every single one of us. Look, it's just a shambles. Like these players, and then when you hear the interviews after the game, not one of them will stand up and take responsibility or accountability. Not one of them. You know, not one of them. You know, you're talking about professional footballers who can't even do the basics right anymore. It's gone beyond the joke, William. It really has gone beyond the joke, my man. I'm just fed up with it now at this stage. I want them gone. We need to be ruthless at Tottenham.
They leave us speechless. They leave us speechless, William Kelly.
If we want to win trophies, we have to be ruthless. No, he wasn't on the pitch today. He wasn't on the pitch. And look, I can see what you're saying with Scarlett, but look, you know, it's the midfield is the problem today. That it's not Scarlett. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion on it. I think once the midfield can take control of the game, the defense can't keep hold of the ball and they're just pumping it long. I don't think you're giving the guy much of a chance to kind of showcase his ability. But look, I can see why people might get on Scarlett's back. But at the end of the day, look, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's just a tough one to take. But look, guys, we are going to leave it there. I am going to, head over to the We Are Tottenham TV and do the fan show. So, guys, you know, everyone else, get over there now. Get over into the fan show, you know, and do a little bit of an Irish Hotspur raid. And if you want to do the Irish Hotspur raid, all you have to say is the Irish Hotspur is going to beat you on FIFA. #. That's all you got to do, guys. But look, as always, no matter what, you know, it's a shame, but we're starting to get used to the disappointment now. So, look, you know what to do, guys. Dust it down tomorrow. Take all day tomorrow to get over it. Dust ourselves down and wear the badge with pride again coming into the weekend for West Ham. It's all we can do right now. But as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Spurs.
Everywhere we go.